throw in our Grizzly Hills music. This is always good. And I'll unmute on here. Hello. Hello.
It was so sad.
Hello.
Hello. Hi,
How
hi.
are we? Are we doing good?
Great.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Mark.
Good show. Thanks, man.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, it's good to have you all here again.
What's this energy?
Yes, I know. Yeah, it's Good Friday energy. I've been up for most of the day today.
Oh, buddy.
So I'm knocking back some more caffeine now. So, has anyone got anything they want to shout out before we get started? Before we dive into things? No.
Watch Tomato Gaming.
Yep, watch Tomato Game. It's true.
He's
Tomato?
gonna
Yeah,
help.
yeah. We'll do the
He's
promo
making the
for
biggest-
him.
Streamer on Twitch.
Yeah, I think we're good. I just want to
Okay.
play some D&D.
Let's play some D&D.
Shout
then.
out to Derek.
Yes.
Apparently,
yes.
I'm sorry. I mean Derek. Shout out to Derek.
Does anyone
I
else
thought maybe-
actively want to read? Because I
Yes.
will.
Does anyone want to actively read the recap?
Sounds
Tomorrow,
like
put your
Gabe
hand down.
does.
Tomorrow,
I do,
you can't
I
do it
do.
again. You do it too
You
often.
can't. He wants to do it all the
so
time.
tired, guys. I'm so tired.
I feel like I wasn't here last week, so I shouldn't read it.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
true.
like
That's fair. That's fair.
I'll save myself for a week I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
On our previous adventure, we met the negotiator, Derek, who turned out to be a criminal manager for 3 individuals known as Little, Big, and Tiny. We brought him with us to the meeting with the kidnappers and managed to convince them to cut a deal with him for further work. We brought the 3 back to Spring and learned that the Oryx we sought were only a couple of miles away. After learning the location of the farmstead, we convinced the king to provide the gold to purchase the milk. We administered it to Throot, and after a moment of silence, her eyes opened. Fucked up.
So, to catch you up as well a little bit, Mark. Yeah, they after kind of making some deals and arrangements, they managed to kind of get this group of 3, who all happened to be the same person that had been split into 3. They were Mesogaian. They were one man and then split into 3 as kind of a punishment by the gods.
Okay.
For each of their equal traits: their strength, their charm, and their mind. And
But they're cool with it.
yeah, they're
like, this
Yeah,
kind
of
of
like
They
it.
like it.
Nice.
Um,
Okay.
Spring was trying to kind of almost get rid of Derek to try and buy out these 3, as she wanted them as clientele, and they said to you that they owed you a favor in the future if you ever need any work like that, and you learned some work over in Fiercefella as well, kind of a town city to the east. And then after that information, they went and met with a farmer and watched as he extracted the milk rather peculiarly from one of the bone aurochs.
He pretended to be one of their babies.
Yeah, Joe, I feel
said-
like you should describe it.
It's okay.
I
It's
was
okay.
going to ask about, there was mention about dressing up as a baby. Now this makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
I was very much like, it's going a very weird direction.
To extract the milk, he put on a kind of a bone exterior and moved in a similar manner to the beast, so that it would allow him to come in and exchange the milk, or extract it.
Also,
Bring
it
it
smelled
home.
bad.
Yes, it was rancid. After bringing it home, they administered it through simple drinking to Thrude, and she's just woken up, and she's coughed away some of the black poison that just kind of infested in her skin, and you'd see as the quake marks are starting to dissipate, and then fade. Who's leaning over her right now?
Not
Oof,
Lena.
Can't remember. It was. Oh god, it was my character, wasn't it?
Who
you
administered the
watching?
milk?
David's
Who
like
administered?
petting her
It was
hair.
technically me.
It's like
I think, like, I know Juno probably would have been close by, like, looking, because, like, I helped, like, identify the poison and stuff at the start, so I think she would be very curious to see the effect of this milk and, like, what kind of thing it's going to have. So I'd be nearby, but it sounds like Willoughby was the one actually
Oh.
pouring it.
I'll roll
I'm
1d2
back
between you
against
guys.
a wall.
Yeah,
One
I am
being
by
Willoughby.
the door.
What about Draven, actually? Was Draven anywhere nearby?
I was
Yeah?
directly in front of her, yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, so it
1d3.
sounds like it's the 3.
1 for Willoughby, 2 for Juno, and
No.
3 for Draven.
What's happening?
We'll find out.
Who Thrude sees.
Willoughby.
Ooh, she's gonna give a smooch.
She looks up to you, and her hand
My
shoots up and
hero.
grabs your neck.
Oh.
And she starts pressing it against your neck. You can feel some of the splintered kind of wood.
Stop.
Sorry, and I don't breathe.
She squeezes a little harder.
Going to
You hear like,
decapitate me.
Yes, but
Willoughby
your neck
stretch.
might snap, Willoughby.
That is true. Thrud, you've been in a horrible accident. You need to remain calm.
you hear one of your own twigs kind of snap a little bit. What do you mean?
You've been poisoned by a drop.
We brought you the cure. We're here to help. You don't want to
this
kill
is
one of the ones who
true.
helped.
A
Do
hand
you
loosens from
remember?
your throat.
We were speaking, and then you collapsed.
Poisoned.
Ate a drop.
Ate a drop. And I'm not dead.
We managed to slow the poison and find the cure. Based
It's
on your
miracle.
legends, I believe.
She pushes herself up to a sitting position, which you can see her arms are kind of weak, and she's still kind of weakened by the poison and the exhaustion of the last couple of days, and she kind of looks across at you. Why?
Someone probably wanted to poison your father, but you came instead.
No, not why to that. Why save me?
I'm also going to look at Draven and say, I'm not entirely sure about that. I've been doing a lot of thinking. I think we all have our own reasons for doing it. If you're asking me specifically, you're half mortal. I don't believe that half should be killed so easily by some scheme, and you deserve a chance to live. I don't know about the rest of them.
I wanted something from you, if you remember.
That makes sense.
Booty call.
All right.
I think the others are. Their reasons are their own.
Because they like us.
Well, which one of you has a drink?
I'll hand my water skin and say it's only water, but I think that maybe
Pushes a hand
that is
aside.
what you need. Yeah, I didn't think so.
Of anyone in these halls, you are the least likely to poison me again, so... If one of you could
That's
fetch
fair.
me a drink, I would be most appreciated. Ate a drop, huh? She kind of looks at herself. Not bad, huh? That thing is meant to kill God. Meant to kill my father. You might have slowed it, but... I was the one that managed to keep it at bay.
I admire the self-respect, certainly. I do have some questions, if you don't mind, just because I would like to get to the bottom of some things.
I absolutely look at Eldred and Lena, and there's kind of a like, just let her have this. Just let her.
I'm gonna
just
try and
leaning
move the
back with my
conversation
arms
away.
crossed.
Yeah. Our eyes
Just
are focused on
waiting.
you, Juno, during this.
One quick question. When you arrived in Herot, did you eat or drink anything else beyond the flagon in the main hall?
No, I don't think so.
And when you fought that soldier of Ares, did they strike you? Did they hit you with their weapon or anything? I did not assume, but I want
No.
to check.
No.
This creates some interesting complications.
It has to be ingested. We did discover that, right?
Yeah.
You did not get any of the blood in your system, did you? In your mouth?
I mean, that might have happened. I get a little bit, I'm a messy killer. What can I say?
We should, in fact, check that body if it's still around, just in case.
I agree. My apologies. I know that this is... I'll look at Willoughby. I won't say Willoughby's name, but I'll look at Willoughby and say, I know that this is more your sort of job, but there are certain things that I've been thinking a lot about.
He's just giving you a thumbs up and shaking his head.
Things like asking questions, I mean. I'll look at the others. I won't say their names.
This goes against everything Lena wants, but she will ask.
So proud of you.
Did anyone know that you were coming? Did you tell anyone? Did your father tell anyone that
Next question.
you would be here?
I think we wanted to make it a surprise. Me and Bruder. Only us two knew.
Speaking of Bruder, they
He's
are
dead.
mortal. Well, maybe.
They
Are they mortal?
I've
How
made it
sure
my...
of that are you?
Well, I try not to fuck anyone who's a god.
Okay. More complications.
Mm-hmm.
You're suggesting that he has something to do with this.
No, I don't know has what to do with this, but
Did
go on, please, Draven.
did he drink from your flagon? He did, correct?
He did.
We saw him.
Yeah.
If he did, and the 8th drop was in the flagon, he should have died immediately. As
It
a
was-
mortal, it should have killed him.
Well, it was in his blood, regardless.
Mm-hmm. So, there are two possibilities. He is not mortal, or something else entirely. But if I had forgotten that we knew that he had it in his blood, which imposes that there was something else to it.
Do you know what family he comes from, Thrut?
Never
Is it
asked.
one of... Hmm.
I always found this charming. And... he could be a little, how do I say it? He liked to start fights, and I always found it endearing.
Fake's being shocked.
Lena's
I
gonna
don't believe it.
sigh again. How long have you known him? Was he acting the same as usual? Did he seem any different to you?
I don't know, a
at
few
all?
weeks.
Was he excited about coming to Herot? Did he seem keen to come here?
At first, he was more excited that he was getting to meet my father.
Mhm.
But then when he learned the truth of what we were doing and I was going in his stead, he was less excited, but still anticipating it, I suppose.
Mm.
I think he enjoyed it.
I feel like I should tell you that Bruder was taken by this creature called the Grendel. Snatched him up. I look at Draven, who's making faces.
She knows.
Ah, good.
He told
I
me.
couldn't. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure how much you would remember.
Well, that's fair.
It is possible that he's still alive. We didn't see him die. We saw him being taken. If he is not what he appears, if he is not mortal, then it is even more likely that he is alive and has either escaped or is being held by the Grendel. Either way, dead or alive, he may hold some answers. If we know anyone who can get answers from the dead. I don't look at anyone when I say that.
I lean towards Eldred.
It's possible if we hunt down this Grendel, we'll find something.
Maybe I should kill
If
it.
you
She goes to stand up and then immediately just sits back down.
Hold up. Yes, I like this. Wait a second. This might have been worth it.
That's a wonderful idea.
Well,
I'm not one to tell a god when they might need some rest, but you might need some rest. There is a hunt being organized, if I remember, a day or two away for this Grendel. The people here have tracked it. They seem to know it. It seems to be connected to this place in some way.
Miss Grendel, it tormented all these people for a long time. Do you really think anyone this whole can handle it?
No.
No.
So am I the only one who can kill it?
Maybe not. I don't think the people here can, but I think you would do a very good job of killing it if you did.
Someone has killed it before in this hole. Well,
Some
I thought
hero,
they killed it.
Beowulf or something they were called, I think.
They
I've
took
heard
a
of it.
hand or an arm or whatever
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
He is long away. The king always... The king was always whiny towards my father about giving his land over to Beowulf. He was drunk at the time. After Beowulf did the deed. Tore the creature's arm off. He promised his entire kingdom away to Beowulf and regretted it ever since. The amount of times we had to hit that boy wine.
The king here of Herot gave the lands away to Beowulf? Or your
Upon his death. Does not go to his son.
Ah.
My father thinks a deal is a deal. Drunken or not.
Honors
drink.
the oath that was made.
Exactly.
This
So
is
Beowulf is
interesting
nowhere
information.
close. Far in the north. He'll come back down when he has the means to. In fact, my father believes that the only reason King Hrothgar still beats in his heart is the old bastard is trying to outlive Beowulf.
That is interesting to know. Whatever was at work here, whoever wanted either you or your father or maybe even Ares dead, it is murky. It is a murky scenario. If the intended target of this poisoning was your father, the cure was not very hard to find. Your father would have easily been able to find it, I think. Which makes me doubt if that target was the original intention.
I don't think so. Thrud was supposed to be dead the next morning. No one
But
was supposed to find her.
Thor originally survived the Aether drop. He would have had at least a day to go and fetch the cure.
Do you truly think someone would have bothered Thor?
What do you mean?
If Thor was in his room by himself, do you think someone would have come to disturb him?
I think
I don't think he'd need it.
I think from the stories he was still conscious for a day. I think I could be misremembering. Please do correct me if I'm wrong. My understanding was he was awake for at least a day.
You're not
He would have
wrong.
been able to go and fetch the milk himself.
My father in the stories is meant to die to Jormungandr. And that is a lot more Aether drop. It is no longer Aether drop, it is a straight Aether. Straight from the venom of the beast itself. So, when he gets bitten by Jormungandr, maybe then he would not continue walking, but... One Aether drop. It would not
An
drop
inconvenience.
my father. I mean, perhaps slowly. But
But
if I can
plenty
have
of time to go and fetch the cure.
You'd imagine so.
So, if somebody goes to all this effort and coin to procure it, why was the Auroch so easy to get to? I would have, if it were me, I would have killed the beast, prevented him from getting the milk, or moved it, stolen it, hidden it. Either they didn't know the cure and the legend. I think that if they've gone far enough to learn of the poison, they check what the antidote is. Which makes me think that maybe Thor was not the original target. Maybe somebody knew that it would be Thrud, or maybe it was for Ares, who would not have known the cure. But this is murkier than we first realized, I think. I think that there are strings being pulled here that we don't even realize.
We have one solution. We start gathering everyone up in the holes and make our way through them until someone talks. Someone
What
tried to kill
if-
my god, my father, me.
What if Bruder is involved and no one in the hall is?
It could be.
Taking my coin out of my pocket, and again, I'm just kind of flipping it between my fingers. The first time you drank, did you get it yourself? Did someone bring it to you?
I lent in. I drank from, I think. Oh, Bruder, he'd pass me the tankard every now and then, but my betrothed would not have done this. He loved me.
How did you meet him?
We were on the road. I came across him, and he was getting attacked by 3 men. During it all, whilst they were beating on him, he was making fun of them, insulting them. Barely fighting back, but really getting under their skin. I thought it was endearing. So I killed the 3 men, protecting him, and I brought him along with me for a little while. It was kind of roadside company. And then I fell in love with him.
That's sweet.
Where were you headed?
Ah. Good question. We were headed east at first, but I was traveling down south to get to Herot. So I met him mostly along the road. He said that he was heading towards Heresy.
And you hadn't told anyone you'd be traveling that way?
No. I had wanted to keep it a surprise. I told him that my father was going to arrive there. Before, me and him enjoyed ourselves.
Did he, when you said that your father would attend, did he seem interested?
Who would not be interested? It is the god of thunder, the greatest of the gods.
Shake my head slightly.
Of course everyone wants to see my father.
The tankard that you drank from, did you bring that with you, or was it given to you here? Was it Bruder's?
It was his. He kept his own. This is how you saw things? Kind of looks across you like squinted eyes.
They're very curious.
I love questions. So, I think, well, you may not care for what I think, Thrud, daughter of Thor.
You saved my life. I owe you your thoughts.
I would like to see you rest. You are clearly strong and recovering, but this does seem to be a potent thing that was used against you, and you should recover your strength. Sleep, drink. We can fetch you some ale or something to help you. Give us time to think on the answers that you've given us, and I think that this Grendel may be able to shed some light on Bruder. I am curious to know how he has survived the Aether drop. As for your suggestion on how to find out who is involved, sometimes you need a scalpel rather than a knife. Sometimes a hammer, sorry. Sometimes a hammer is useful, and perhaps the time will come for that. But give us some time to look into this before you start breaking heads.
All right.
At least. Rest. Drink. Something that we bring you. We will try and make sure that it is somewhat safe as we can. As for the rest, I don't know what they want to ask. I don't need anything from you. The others may want something, but I'm fine. I did this because I want to learn. So, and learn much I have. So, I don't know about the rest of you. If you have anything you would like to request or speak to Thrud about. But I'm done.
I'm just gonna go get you some food. Water. He's just gonna walk.
Willoughby's like, I want to get out of here. Just get me out of here.
She looks to you, Draven. You stay.
Gladly. Shit.
Best
I
luck
do
to
have
you.
one more question.
He's gonna leave, close the door.
She looks to you, Lena.
I think Juno goes with Willoughby.
Okay.
What would happen, do you know, if I drank some Oryx milk before I took some Aether drop? Can I save myself if I reverse the order? Will I inoculate myself against it?
It sits in the stomach for a while. It doesn't feel good in my stomach now. So, I'm not what do you call it? I don't know medicine. But it makes sense to me.
Okay. get some rest. I'll turn around
question.
and walk out.
And just shake my head and back out.
She did watch
Please
you
do
away
it.
out, Eldritch. And you, what is your name again? Looks at you, Draven.
Draven.
You came to me with a request, telling me that my beloved was dead.
Yes.
Speak the request again. This time I won't get up to attack you.
If war does come to pass with those of Mesogaya and their gods, there is one.
When war comes to
When. There is one that has wronged my family. And you, of course, know how important family is.
the most.
I may come seeking your assistance so that I can receive some sort of justice for what was done to my grandmother.
You gonna tell me the name then or now?
Zeus.
Well, you saved my life. When the time comes, I'll give you my aid, but I will tell you honestly that I do imagine we'll both die from that.
Oh, I don't plan to just have it be you and I. I want him to suffer against more hands than two.
Well, I've heard Zeus is a prick, so I'm in. And I owe you.
And Draven pulls out the ruby, the two opals, the sapphire, and her blade.
I made sure no one stole them from you, so that when you woke, they would be there.
Or a persuasion check. Or deception if you're lying through your teeth.
Oh no, I'm genuine. I'm mad that chat won that stupid poll. I'm mad chat won that stupid poll. Nat 20 for a 26. I'm mad.
Never doubt.
Draven of Mesogaya. She takes it, placed it on the side. Takes out the sapphire and hands it to you. Sell it. You're gonna need gold if you want to buy more help.
It's been a pleasure, Thrud.
And I want to do like the arm clasp.
She clasps it back and goes, oh, no. The pleasure's only about to begin.
Yeah, where do you think you're going?
Clasps it at your arm and just kind of lets go. Leans
Knocks
back
on door. We have food. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Willoughby's like, I've brought you lunch.
Shut up and have the dessert.
That one can watch. Yeah, she lies back down to kind of rest up, realizing that she is weakened, but not wanting to show it in front of the group. Allowing Draven to leave.
Yeah, I'll come back later. She got her strength back. Gonna like walk past Willoughby.
She's good now.
Whatever you say.
So, you're all outside. Or outside this hall area, in kind of the hallway.
Yeah. Should we could jump into our room, a bit of privacy perhaps, talk about what just happened.
It's maybe not the hallway.
I
is not the
I wasn't
best.
messing around when I said I was going to go get the food. I'm going to get that taken care of. I'm still
Okay.
a little antsy about all of this.
Sure. I think that's still, yeah.
Also,
I think
they
that's
almost
a good-
ripped my head off, which I mean, I was playing it off as cool, but that was extremely scary.
Yes, are you all right?
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
need
Yeah, no,
healing
that was
or
bad.
are,
Yeah.
are you?
I don't know,
Yeah,
does
are
my
you
neck look
okay?
attached?
No, it
Oh,
still
it's-
looks. It
Can't feel
okay.
it.
Yeah, it's
If
okay.
I
There's a
move
few
my head
cracks.
too quickly, it's going to fall off.
There's a little
Don't know what happens if that
a
happens.
splinter
What happened before?
right here, like a.
Yeah, can you like fix that or is that okay?
I don't know. I think it'll probably fix itself.
Okay. Okay.
Then you're
Later.
fine.
Whew. Well,
I hate her.
Oh,
Maybe
that's fair.
the room before.
yes,
we
yes,
say
yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, no, I think she could tell.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well,
I think she
before
could
Willoughby
tell.
goes to the room, he's actually going to get food and like
Yeah,
push it in the door, and then cast purify food and drink on it, and then
Okay.
leave.
I was literally going to ask you if you could do something like that. That's awesome.
Before
Nice.
you leave, Willoughby, she looks and goes, I've seen your kind before, haven't I?
Well, if you've been anywhere near the World Tree, probably yes.
We don't get invited often. No, not for gods, but I think I saw you there when I was briefly there with my father. Oh, one of you.
Likely wasn't me.
Might not have been you. Tell your friends if they ever cross me, I'll use you as a toothpick.
Ah, you got it.
Sure thing.
Closes the door and walks away as fast as possible.
Amazing.
Did you give her the food? How was she?
Yeah, they got the food. They also said that if we ever crossed them, they would use me as a toothpick.
That's stupid. You're way bigger than her mouth.
Lucky.
That's dumb.
Okay. Ew. But also, God, she just reminds me of every blockheaded athlete in Mesogaia that I've ever come across. Lots of muscles and very little else. Not that the muscles are a bad thing, of course, but
Where is the fault here? I don't know.
that's okay. You're a very beautiful, muscly man yourself. But anyway. What do we all think about that?
She is
I expected
full to be
to-
trusting this brooder.
Yes, he's
How did
involved.
After a
If
few
he's
weeks,
not, if he's totally mortal, how is he fine? Unless he potentially drank Oryx milk ahead of time, he knew somehow something.
Built up a small immunity to it, or poisoned it himself so that he would be. Do you know another part of this? I did not bring it up with Thrud, but the Grendel, the attack at the exact moment that this all happens. At first, I thought that they might be connected, but now I'm beginning to think that this is perhaps one of those strange moments of true coincidence. I don't think the Grendel is connected. I think that the Grendel and the King Hrothgar and this Beowulf is almost another plot, and it's all become mingled and tangled together. I think that Bruder is involved in the poisoning, but I don't think Bruder was expecting to be grabbed and taken.
I think
Maybe-
it's possible.
It's
Not
possible.
hard to make
Yes,
yourself
of course.
look like someone else.
I worry that if we excuse options,
Yes, of course.
then we limit
yes.
ourselves. And
No.
No,
the,
you
the
always.
truth is, we have the option to do another favor for Spring, and Spring said they would tell us who did it. So the
Mm.
question is, do we want to do the favor? I thought
she
so.
did not say that. She said she had
No.
information
Useful
that would be
information.
very interesting to us.
Yeah. Yes.
I think we do it anyways. Not
Of
I think so
far.
too.
This
I
favor
am
is all
far
well and
too
good, but
curious.
The more
Go
time
read a
we
stone.
waste to find Bruder, the higher the chances are that he is just gone.
Yeah.
God
This
knows
is
what
true.
happened
If
after the Grendel pulled him out of the building.
That's if we can fight Grendel ourselves.
if
Maybe
he was
we...
in on it, he would be gone anyway.
Mm.
Well, we plan to wait for the townsfolk to fight Grendel, right?
Well, no, I thought they were going to open the gates,
They're
announce
posting
a
a bounty or something. Yes.
and we can
yes.
go take a look.
Oh.
Collect a bounty.
Well, what are you all in favor for? Would you rather we kill a Grendel or do a favor for my favorite season?
Well, we've got time still because the gates aren't open, so we can easily
Yes.
go.
There's
Oh,
plenty
damn.
of
Read
ways
a
around
stone.
a gate. I mean, technically.
I don't.
I
Oh.
also
I still think we get
wonder-
the information.
Never mind.
I
Yes,
wonder if
Anthony.
it would be worth it to investigate more Auroch farmers and ask if they've sold any before us recently?
I think that's a very good. We could hopefully maybe do that quickly. If we did go to the Riddle, we could stop by the farm or travel that way. I would at least be interested to know if any of the Orok farmers nearby have indeed met someone matching Bruder's description.
We have to find
before.
the other Orok farmers to ask the other Orok farmers. We only had the destination of one, and that
I see.
Sort of a
My memory's so fuzzy.
curmudgeon-y bastard.
Well,
speak
I
to
mean,
him.
we could go ask him again.
I'm sure
back
for
to
the
him
right
asking.
price he would answer our questions.
We don't. How much money do we actually have as a group?
Not much, but he doesn't seem super well off to begin with.
My vote is the gates are closed. Yes, we could probably find a way past them, but that feels like it's inviting more trouble to us.
I think, again, right, you work smarter, not harder. Why stress ourselves out? We find out other information in the meantime.
Well, the only reason I say this is because the second that bounty is open, we open up a possibility of many more people gunning for that Grendel.
Have you
and
looked
possibly
around?
interrupting a crime scene.
I'm not so worried
Willoughby.
about other people.
I'll ask the others if they have any reservations to this, but if this is your forte, I almost feel like you should make the decision. Unless anyone has reservations.
If what is...
If investigations are Willoughby's forte, should we pursue the Grendel or the favor, unless anyone has a specific preference?
I think it is worth finding out what Spring knows. We walk to a stone, we read it, we come back, she tells us. We are pointed in a potentially useful direction. We take that information along with us as we figure everything else out.
Perhaps the information is Grendel's secret weakness.
Or it could be a bunch of bullshit. Spring has lied to us and kept information from us before, such as our last favor we did
I don't
for
know
them.
that was
I'm not
really
saying that this is a bad
keeping
idea. I'm simply
information. I
saying
think it
that-
was, she didn't want to say, also if he dies, it's fine.
Yeah, but it
I don't
shows
know
us,
that
it
I would have
shows us
said
their
it like
character.
that either. I don't know. I think we go to the stone. I think when you are looking for information and you are trying to figure something out, you check everything. And I think you cut yourself off from potentially useful things. And that is a bad idea.
Perhaps
But
there is a
also, I don't
perhaps-
really know you. So if you don't want to go, maybe I will go to the stone.
Maybe there is a compromise here. I think of this. First of all, Bruder's status, well, they are dead. They are alive because they are, they have survived, or they are immortal, or they have some other trick to it, or they have escaped. 3 options I see. 2 of those options, the Bruder is still there. He's either dead, and there's nothing we could have done if we leave now or if we go later. The other one is he's still there and we get information. The other, if he has run, he has already run. Us going after him now won't change that. But I also see Willoughby's point that if we wait too long, we maybe are going after this bounty with a dozen want-to-be heroes from Herot chasing our tails. Maybe there is still time. If we go and solve this riddle, we know that it is not too far from Herot. We bring the information back to Spring, and if we are quick, we can then immediately leave, sneak past the gates, and get a head start on everyone else in tracking Grendel. That way we are accomplishing both tasks, I think.
That's agreeable to me. I simply don't want to leave when the gates open.
It might mean that we are resting on the road, but that doesn't bother me. I'm happy to do so, and we'll still be ahead of everyone else. Maybe we have a bit of time. There is a small chance that maybe Bruder has got away if they are somehow connected and have made a deal with Grendel. I don't know. But if that has already happened, there's not much we can do about it. I don't think leaving now or tomorrow is going to make a huge difference in that. So that is my vote. I think a compromise can be found.
I agree.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, Draven?
Sure, I just wanted us to make a decision.
Well, decision made. So, let us go solve this riddle. I look at Lena and say, we can get the information from Spring, and that may even change what we do next. But we will have the full intention of sneaking out and getting past the guides to head north, I think, after Grendel. I can't...
Fen.
Let me check. Yes, towards the fence, yes.
It's to the Fen.
Yes.
I will
My memory is slow. North.
I'm gonna stop flipping my coin between my fingers and look at how it landed. Yeah. And put the coin away.
Okay. I'm glad that we could reach this. Ah, such civilized people. Nice. So,
Don't say that.
let us go and solve some riddles, yes?
Let's go read a stone.
Sure.
Okay. So, heading out of the main halls and heading back out into the open air, I believe it was the next day, wasn't it? Because you went there the next morning to get the aurochs, I think. So,
Yeah.
if I'm right, it should just be like kind of afternoon. You journey outside. Immediately in the kind of lower courtyards, as you're kind of walking down, you'd see 3 kind of loosely clad, kind of dressed in various kind of leathers and some shoulder pieces and these kind of wooden swords. 3 human, 2 men, 1 woman. One's a little shorter than the other 2. The woman kind of stands 6 foot as tall as the other guy. And in front of them, as they're kind of like circling around, you'd see in almost this kind of stitched together get-up, standing about 11 feet high, a couple of people holding someone on their shoulders. And they're wearing kind of this like monstrous mask, and they're wearing these kind of almost gloves with claws in them. You can see they're kind of mocking a fight. And the woman kind of steps forward and goes, "No. If we're going to take down Grendel, you can't keep attacking at the front. You have to stab it at the side." And then they quickly go quiet as they kind of see you walking by. You see the kind of ones dressed in the ground are just like lower and kind of, they've still got the guy on the shoulders. They just all eye you as you kind of going past. One of the guys looks at you and goes, "You're not going after the bounty too?"
No?
No. Shopping.
"No, we're just
Playing.
playing."
It's important to have active imaginations. You want to be careful attacking from the sides. Predators are expecting that. They tend to keep an eye on their sides much more carefully. And I'll just carry on walking.
They all kind of look at you like a little bit. And as you kind of walk on, you'd hear the lady go,
Mind freak.
"Predators know that they get attacked from the side, so you're not going to attack from the sides. You need 2 people to distract Grendel. Once one of you goes from behind..." They start changing up all their tactics in the distance as you go past.
They are
Mind
going.
freak.
They are going to die.
We'll get there first.
We're
Don't
doing
worry.
them a favor by leaving early.
Exactly.
Shake my head.
But the fossil-shaped hill that you descend down, you can see, like I said previously, the life has kind of gone back to normal. Like, they've forgotten about the Grendel incident. The people here are always kind of party folk. They're quite stalwart. You'd see the village at the bottom of the Great Mead Halls have kind of started going back to marketplace and selling foods and sharing kind of materials with each other. People delivering barrels up to the top and whatnot. But you'd be leaving the kind of village area and hearing the kind of sounds of music playing in the distance and head south along the road towards the direction of the Skald Stones. It's kind of deeper in the southwest, and you'd make your way down across the kind of pathways and following the brief directions that Spring gave you. You recognize it's going to take you a few hours to kind of get down there. Closer to really half a day, because it is nearer the kind of most southwestern portion of Herot. But you could spend the kind of day going at a pretty quick pace to get down there.
Yeah, I'm happy to go at a quick pace.
Yeah, which would knock it down to only a few hours. So moving down at kind of a nice kind of almost like fast and walking, occasional jogging maybe. You'd eventually come into sight of, as you kind of pass by woodlands and all the farmlands, you get into kind of more open fields and a lot more just open territory, which has not been kind of housed or claimed. And eventually you start seeing the mountains that wrap around the entirety of Herot. You see them from the distance and slowly close in, and after a couple hours you see a small village that's kind of supplanted next to the just underneath the shadow of the mountain. However, now probably close to like 3 p.m., the sun's kind of beating down and illuminating the entire village. It's kind of thatch huts and it doesn't seem to be very. It doesn't have shops or anything like that. It's very much a housing village of just kind of locals that live there. You'd see growing all across the mountainside here are these long kind of stalking branches, almost shaped like a French horn as they kind of curl around, and their plantation and the kind of foliage of them is hanging low. And you see these, probably the size of a head, these hanging fruit all across them. The lowest of these plants is probably 30 feet high, but they stick out almost like porcupine quills, just hanging low all across the side of the mountain. And you'd see climbing up there some of the villagers who've got these tall, long ladders. Like one's holding at the bottom, another one's kind of climbing up there, and almost with amazing grip, they're leaning up and cutting them, and then others are catching them as they fall down, all the way 30 feet into the kind of a soft, almost pillow-like bucket. And you see this small kind of village is just working together, and this is the closest thing you've got to any directions you know where to go. A couple of people kind of wandering around the village and gathering some of the delivering these fruits back and forth into different housing or putting them into what you'd see is this great big circular vat, and they're pouring it in there almost like a wine presser. But instead of stepping on it, they're all just kind of pouring it into there and filling it up with all of the different fruits. But it's, for the most part, just a human village.
Okay.
And you said, is this like, do we know where to go from here, or is this like as far as the directions we got from Spring?
Yeah, you only really got told southwest. Yeah, so you don't really know from here necessarily.
We probably need to ask someone in the village if they know of this Skald Stone, and can direct us.
I've got a way to pinpoint it a little bit closer, but it's only going to work for about 1,000 feet in every direction from me, so...
Maybe we can get some loose directions.
Get a little closer first.
Start trying to flag someone down.
Ask a child.
See a kid kind of watching you nearby, and he's you can see he's got one of the fruits in his hands, and he's just whacking it with this kind of like small hammer. He's trying to break it open. And you can see, even though it almost has the texture of like a plum, seemingly, whenever he hits it, it presses in, but it doesn't break through. And you just see bashing it against the ground. Little brown shaggy haired kid.
We'll walk up towards the kid and use Druidcraft to split it open.
You see the magic, and just kind of splits perfectly down the center. You see embedded in the center, and you can see all the way through. It's almost viney on the inside. All the way through, there's a tiny other small, very purple, bright, vibrant purple fruit in the middle. And he goes, "Thank you, mister." He takes a big bite, and you see it kind of gushes all down his lips, turns all his lips kind of purple, and it dribbles down his chin. I've never been hit by a tree.
Not many people have. We're rare around here. Chad, I have a question for you.
Sonny, you got a question?
I have a question for you. Heard anything around these parts of a Skald Stone?
Oh. Yes. Lots of people come, well, sometimes people come down here. I've seen 3 in the last few weeks. To seek it.
Do you
Of the
see
last
where they
winter's
go?
Yeah, they
Do you
went
see...
the fruit into the woodland, but
Willoughby, you need to be really specific with children.
and
I
just
don't
starts
have to talk to
licking his
children
fingers.
very often.
Can you tell us where the stone is? My friend here
Yes.
would really like to see it.
But Mom says not to go in there.
Oh, you don't have to come. You could just tell us which direction to go. That's okay.
Point the way.
It's not
should
easy to
definitely
find
listen
in the
to your mom.
daytime, so you have to wait till dusk. Within a couple hours, it's really bright. You just have to go into the woodlands that way. It is a little bit of a maze in there, but you see the purple glow. It glows like
Purple
the
glow.
fruit.
Oh, that is good to know. Thank
But
you.
Mama said that if you go there, you might die. There's lots of monsters there. It is
You should
protected. You could.
Listen to your mother. Don't go in to the woodlands to find it. Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
but if you go in there, you can't say I sent you.
I promise we won't tell anyone you sent us.
And you've got to tell me what happens. If you
And
don't
I
die.
promise
sure.
we will come back
keep
and
you
tell you what
posted on
happens.
that.
Okay.
Okay.
You can't if you're dead though.
We won't
Oh.
be dead.
And looks down at Eldrin.
Okay, thank you for your help. What's your name?
I'm Usht.
Usht.
Oofed.
It's
Hi,
very
Usht.
good to meet you, Usht. I'm Lena.
Okay.
These are my friends. Thank you for your help.
Yep. That's okay. Looks up to Willoughby
Thanks for this.
and leans back and then just lifts another one of the fruit that's behind his chair.
Yeah. That's it again.
Thank you. And then he breaks a little bit off and hands it up to you.
Willoughby takes it and just kind of looks around, pretends to eat it, but it just sort of goes into his head, and then he walks away and just drops it out of his face as he's leaving. Does anyone want this? It's perfectly fine. It's just.
If we walked away, I would just slide the kid one copper coin and just be like, hey, if you do good work, you get paid. And then I'll just give him like one copper coin, and then I'll rush to catch up because I want to eat the fruit. So I'm like, I want to try it, but I want to give the kid a copper coin as well.
There's a creepy creature there called Dans.
Dance?
Dans. He's a
Brizzy.
weird little slimy
Like that
creature.
face.
Creepy.
Brizzy, I don't like that
slimy.
face. I don't like that face you made, Brizzy.
What?
You've been doing too much reading. I don't like that look, Brizzy.
Dance. Like D-A-N-S?
Yeah.
He's like, I
Dan?
don't know how to spell. I'm a child.
Well, no. Yeah. Dan's game. Okay. I say, well, thank you very much for that, Usht. That's very good to know. Knowledge, very important. And then I'll chase after the team and say, yeah, by the way, creepy slime creature called Dance. I don't know what that is, but the boy said that there was Dance. I thought.
Slimy.
It's creepy.
Slime being named Dance.
Said it was creepy slime creature. Gave him a little coin and just gave him one little copper coin. He was like,
Are
oh.
there like are there slime creatures around here? Is that the thing? Are they native to this area? I wonder.
Is that something we would know?
Slime. Do you think it is slime or it's just
Slimy?
Go ahead and
slime?
roll a nature check.
I'm not from here. I'm making no check.
It's fair. Yeah. If you're from here, you can.
I am from here, but there's no way I'm spending a wild shape to boost it. So
Sure,
That's
I'll
a
do a
nine.
check. 10.
You're close-ish to a swamp. Safe to assume it could have
Probably.
come from there.
We'll just
Well,
keep
we-
out. We'll stay a little.
I'm unconcerned of slime. I don't mind. I don't care if there's something slimy. We can simply get rid of it. I'm not.
Can I
Then
try that
guess
fruit?
Just take a bath.
Yeah,
later,
go for
it's
it.
fine.
I'm not gonna eat it.
How is it?
It-
Is it good?
Tastes like it's like a rich honey flavor on the inside.
Mm, very
then-
sweet.
As that kind of fades, it goes very sour to a point where your face pulls in like a
I-
harsh
Sweet?
lemon,
Laka. Oh,
and then
I
back
thought
to
it
the
was
honey,
sweet.
and then
Oh.
back to the sour, and it does that for about
Oh.
30 seconds, just going through each of
Are
them.
you
Oh.
okay?
Yes. Oh, this is the most unusual thing. Oh, it is sweet and then so sour, like spoiled wine. Oh, now it is sweet again. It's changing all the. Very curious. How does it do that? Is it maybe magic or is some? Oh, how strange. I think it stopped. I don't know how that boy could just eat a whole one. Oh,
He didn't flinch. Yeah.
yeah.
I think
ugh.
maybe if you
Grow up with it,
maybe.
yeah. Hmm.
Or you know how like little kids, everything, they have different tastes, right? So
It's true.
maybe
It's
it
true.
hits him different.
Well, I couldn't stand olives when I was a little girl, but now I love them. So yeah, it's
I don't really
changing
like-
tastes.
Yeah.
Oh, you've not had proper Mesogayan olives, I think. I think that's what it
true.
is. One day. My father brings in the most. He gets it from the other merchants. Oh, so juicy, so sweet, delicious.
We
So
don't
we
talk
wait
about
now
food.
until it gets dark and look for a purple glow and a slimy Dan.
Did he
Slimy
say
Dan?
it was easier during the day?
Easier in the
It's
evening.
night.
So you just
Oh.
Purple
glow
glow and it is a
kind of
maze.
purple by the woods.
But if we can use you said you had some sort of like power or spell that you could
Yes,
use, Willoughby?
It may help us in the maze, but
Mm.
its effective range, I would assume, maybe smarter
Still.
for us to get to the maze first.
All right. Okay.
Do you think
Okay.
it just has a sign? It says like maze entrance here. To the
This way
stone.
for
Yeah,
Skaldstone.
exactly.
We can hope.
We pay entry, go in, wander around.
Would be nice, wouldn't it, if it was just so clearly labeled.
Yes.
So you're gonna head to the
Looks
woodlands
around
now?
for sign.
Yes, we head there and wait.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you head to the kind of edge of the woods, and you can see just adjacent to the village itself is very dense woodland. It's unlike the other very open forests around the area previously. Now it's almost junglish in the way it's kind of interloping and
Thick.
wrapping into each other. Yeah, it's like thick, and it's like thicket. It's not like deep green vegetation. It's just where all of the branches are grown over each other, and the trees are already competing for territory. So it's less so that it's a pure maze, and it's more that it's extremely awkward to climb through and pass every tree.
Mm.
Can we hear birds in the forest?
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Okay. 21.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, you'd hear birds kind of tweeting back and forth on the tops of the branches.
Okay.
The trees here grow fairly tall, tall enough that you have to look up and kind of arch your head back to see the kind of tops. But so you'd see the birds flying to and fro some of the treetops there, but
Okay.
the lower end
It's
is
a good sign.
difficult and awkward.
There are birds flying around, natural creatures, so it can't be entirely cursed, at least. It's a good sign.
Do you think if we squint, we will see a purple glow? Squint.
Yes. No.
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 I just wanted to see if he would squint. Well, now
Would-
what? We wait? Do you want to
We
just
can wait, but I do
down?
worry about, again, like we mentioned, the more time we wait here, obviously, the slower it will be on our pursuit of the beast.
How much time do we know, Joe, till like dusk?
The gates are open.
Probably only
Yeah,
like
and
until the gates are open. You don't know that. But in terms of dusk, probably like a couple hours out, if that.
I mean,
Well,
we
no,
lose
probably
nothing.
An hour.
We lose nothing from going in now if we would be waiting outside anyways.
How long does your spell last, Willoughby?
Well, if I'm focusing on it, about 10 minutes, I would say.
I would hold off until dusk when we had a visual guide, but if it is a maze, we can proceed in.
Yes, that's true.
I can't imagine we would be worse off already inside than starting from the outside at dusk.
That's
Other
true.
than potentially taking a wrong turn and running into another creature that we would not have to
Something
fight
else
otherwise.
that's spooky and slimy.
True.
Another Dan.
Creature.
how
Bob.
many? Do you think
Dans.
Dans is like plural? There's just
It
Watch
could
out for
be.
Barry,
Slimy
the other slimy creature in the maze.
Dance.
I say we start going. I agree.
We can go.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
I'm
too.
bored.
Hell yeah.
If nothing else,
Not
Eldridge,
hell yeah.
that is a great reason.
Lizzie, I love you so much. I knew it as soon as I said it.
So you're gonna go
I
in?
say fuck yeah here.
Fuck yeah.
Into
Skull,
the
I
maze.
think
Love
someone
it.
said.
Let's go.
Skull, indeed.
So, climbing into the thicket and climbing over the branches themselves. Are you casting anything, Willoughby, or are you going straight into just...
Not yet.
Okay. Go ahead and make me survival checks across the board just to see how you're directing yourselves in. As you kind of climb in, you realize it is just clambering over branches and moving
Ooh,
across.
look at that.
Nat 2022. Let's go.
Not
2
me,
for
I got a
2.
4.
I believe I'm proud of you.
Okay. with the nat 20 and the unnatural 20 as well, you would be climbing your way through, and it feels like there's no rhyme or reason. But with you, Draven, you notice something on one of the branches. You notice, and I suppose Willoughby for you as well, because you are literally made of wood, you'd see some of the closest branches to you almost like freshly grown and look a little bit cleaner than the wood as it comes off the bark. As if to suggest within the last day or so it had grown through. And as you kind of mark your way through the trees, you can see where the branches would have come in and out, the roots that embed out of the ground kind of grow thicker during the day. And so you start following the fresh ones. And it's difficult work. It's a little bit awkward and slow. But you have a path. And you start following it. And it takes you about 20 minutes or so, and the sun is starting to go down. But you eventually see a very soft, purple glowing, tall stone though. About 15 feet high. Runes that are glowing very softly all across it. You enter into a clearing. And the grass around you is neat, as almost as if it had been mowed, but it's like it doesn't grow any thicker than that. And right in the center of the clearing is the stone. When you look upon it, you notice that the words that are wrapping down go across 4 different sides. Are you approaching to go closer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No hesitation here.
As you step closer as well, you'd see a small jutting stone out of it as well. Does anyone read Celestial?
I do.
I do.
Aye.
Okay. For those who read Celestial, a rune that's wrapped around the top says, words, once you have solved my riddles, pour it into order. And just above the jutting stone is the word order. The jutting stone is the size of a fingerprint. Like the tip of a finger.
Can you just repeat what the words were there for me, Joe? Sorry.
Yep, it says words.
Words.
Once you have solved my riddles, pour it into order. The riddles are located on each side of the stone. And as you step up towards it, you hear from the side,
so you think you can solve a Skald Stone, do you?
and you hear, and coming from the woodland, carried on a mushroom stool, like almost like a pillow, by this tall, broad man, who stands silently wearing kind of tall, heavy armor, a mace over one shoulder, holding with the other hand. Overbearing this large mushroom cap is a slug creature, about 4 feet in kind of diameter. Its body wraps up, and it has a small round head with a kind of like weary smile on its face. Human-like in its expression. It places it down onto the ground, the man, and he steps to the side, silently holding his mace in both hands. And you see the creature just fold its arms, which almost wraps the back of its skin across, and says,
You mortals and all think you have the power of a Skald, a
You must be the slimy, creepy creature.
Dance?
You know me.
and you hear
We've
it.
heard of you.
You see from the woods a wolf also steps out and then lies down beside Dan's.
Well, I always find it amusing. Go ahead. Give it a go.
Do you take care of the stone? You just watch for people to try to solve the riddles?
I solved it long ago. No one
so you
comes
just like
here.
to watch others try to solve it as well?
No, I like to watch others fail.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
That's your whole life?
It makes up a large portion of it.
Do people come here often?
Not often enough anymore.
They used to come more?
A little bit.
Are you a Skald?
No.
Well,
It's
if you
interest-
solved it, then I don't believe you. You must be.
I just sit back and I watch. You want
Modest.
me into helping you? Go ahead. I'd like to see it.
It's interesting you say you've not had many people come by. Weren't people recently, the last few weeks?
Yes. It's
Individuals
more
came by?
traffic now.
Did
Who were
they
the previous
solve it?
failures? Yeah, did they solve it? Who were the
They
previous
just
failures?
give up and walk away?
One of them points down to the ground near the stone, and you can see almost like the imprint of burned feet on the ground. That one failed, and the other
2
one
steps back.
was too scared, so it left.
Interesting.
You see it
Yeah,
wipes some of its
it
slime
makes
away.
some crazy stones.
Yes.
Go then.
So did you receive a stone of your own when you solved it?
Maybe.
Maybe.
You can't steal mine though. I don't keep it on me.
Hmm.
I'm gonna
You're
read.
not just trying to look to see if someone solves the riddle so you can take the stone from them once they receive it.
Oh.
No.
Can I roll insight to see if they seem genuine?
I want to insight if this
can
guy's
insight.
bullshitting.
I want to insight the slug man.
22.
We're on it, Willoughby. 18.
Well, he looks like a slug.
Yeah.
Slug man.
He looks more arrogant than mischievous. Oh, it is mischievous, but it's not like necessarily desperate. It's more like this kind of egotistical. He's the guy that finishes an obstacle course and then goes back to kind of make fun of his
Got it.
friends going through it. You know, like
Cool.
he's there to show off about it.
So it does seem like he did actually solve it.
Yeah,
and
he's very arrogant about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
I would like to continue reading. I'm just quickly rescribing my
Yeah.
notes here.
I can read
So-
you the first riddle.
And you said so. The top runes say words.
Yep.
Full stop. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Once you have solved my riddles, pour it into order, and the jutting stone has order written on it, or something
Yes.
like that.
Yeah. And it's like a fingerprint-sized stone. And then there's 4 riddles on each side of the stone. 1 riddle from
Okay.
each side, so 4 riddles total.
Wait, so can only one person like properly answer solve one of these stones and get the stone? Or do you just solve it and then you get a new stone from like the pillar? How did
Go ahead and roll a. Give me just a religion check.
Okay.
It's kind of knowledge
Once
of
done,
Mimic.
I'm going to continue reading the other
That's
sides.
a nat 1.
You don't really know the rules of how it works necessarily. Would you like one of the riddles?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
On the first side, it says, "It might seem a bit far-fetched, but of your friends, I am the best. I will sit beside you when you eat and lay beside you when you rest. What am I?"
It might seem a bit far-fetched, but among
Your friends, I am the best.
I am the best.
your friends, I am the best.
I will
Sorry,
sit
I like
beside
writing
you.
this down.
When you eat and lay beside you when you rest. What am I? I can also copy and paste into our group chat for you. All.
Yeah, I just like writing it in my journal, but
No,
that
that's
sounds
good, yeah.
good. Yeah, no, do copy paste it because it'll be a lot better reference than my shitty notes. I will sit beside you as you eat.
I'll give you a chance, obviously, to answer them all yourselves. You can also make some wisdom checks and stuff if you get stuck along the way, and you can get your character's hints because it's your character working out.
Awesome.
But I won't spoil your fun.
A cup? A cup, a drink?
Whatever the
beside you. Just be
when
like,
you sleep.
Yes, you go to sleep, you leave some water next to you so when you're thirsty.
Could there be a death metaphor there? The other thing I'm thinking is whatever these, when it says words, once you have solved my riddles, pour it into order. I think that is also going to be a part of this, obviously.
Yeah.
So they are either things that can be poured, or is there's a greater trick to this. It might seem a bit far-fetched. What an interesting opening statement. It does not seem as relevant to the rest. But among your friends, I am the best. I will sit beside you as you eat and lay beside you when you rest. What am I? Friends of your friends, I am the best. Best friends. Far-fetched.
it may just be water.
They could each be a different type of liquid.
It needs to be poured. Water is one that you drink the most. It's one that you have to fetch from a river, pond.
Beside you
Not
when
pond.
you
Don't
eat.
fetch water from a pond.
Lay beside you when I
But
rest.
you understand.
Draven goes and sits next to Dan's and then just continues watching.
Okay. You can see the big guy just kind of watches you the whole time, as does the wolf. They don't take their eyes off you. Makes you. You do protect me, though. Don't try anything.
I didn't plan to. That's not what a Skald would do, right?
No.
Exactly. If I want to be a Skald, I shouldn't attack you.
Pour it into water.
The view is just better here.
Look at your friend struggling.
I want to look at the second riddle.
Yes, I think we should move on to see if there's a theme.
Okay.
Exactly. Feel free to just copy and paste it as well, Joe, and then I'll write
ready.
it down from there. Bam.
It says, there is bad inside me, straight to the core. Though not far have I fallen when found on the floor. What am I?
An apple?
My first thought. There is bad inside me, straight to the core.
There is poison in the seeds of an apple. So it must be apple juice to pour. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I feel like it must be an apple.
It makes sense.
Don't know how far have I fallen.
Let's have a look at number 3.
Okay. It says, my head is my weakness. I shrink when hit upon. If you're sickly and you're coughing, I'll be the final one to say you're gone.
A nail.
Yes,
How do you pour nails?
That's my weakness.
That kind of throws out the original plan.
Yes, I think this pour it into order perhaps is a riddle in of itself. My head is my weakness. I shrink. I think you're right, a nail. But there's also, there could be something else to this as well. My head is my weakness when I strike when I put on. And then let us look at number 4.
The fourth one. You find me alongside an image. I am a little rain. You had a bucket filled with me. You would have little to gain.
What was that? A little hard to read that word. What does that say?
Wait, which word?
I just misheard a word, so I'm trying to...
Oh, you find me alongside an image.
A little rain.
I am a little rain. If you had a bucket filled with me, you would have little to gain.
I am a little rain? What does that mean? How do you be a little rain?
Reflection. Drop.
A puddle?
Puddle. If you had a bucket filled with me, you would have a little to gain.
Little to gain. Dirty water?
I doubt it is that specific.
Right.
I want to make a skill check because my brain hurts.
Okay, which one do you want to try and skill check?
The second one, the one about found on the floor.
Okay, go ahead and just give me a straight wisdom check, please.
Wisdom check. You got it. 7.
With that one,
You don't have to give me anything.
you start to kind of overthink it and you realize that the others might be along the right path.
Okay.
There's one thing I wanna Constellation Dragon Wild Shape. I want to look at the pour it into order part and do a wisdom check on that.
Okay.
It kind of narrows everything else. So flat wisdom check, right?
Yeah.
I just can't roll below 10 then.
You're incredible. You monster.
With the 19, you kind of repeat everything and think to yourself, okay, there must be something here. And your
I have
mind
an
starts
idea.
to kind of wrap around the word order as well.
Mm,
The double
I
meaning.
think I have an idea. I think that order is the order in which the riddles are presented. When my teacher would make me think of philosophy, we would play games. Sometimes it was a common thing with riddles and games was taking the first letter of the answer, and it itself would form a greater answer. I've been thinking about these riddles. The first one, it might seem a bit far-fetched, but among your friends I am the best. I will sit beside you as you eat and lay beside you when you rest. What am I? What about a shadow? It sits beside you when you sleep, when you rest. It sits beside you when you eat. And people say that your shadow is always with you. It's perhaps your best friend. It even says it's a little far-fetched. We would get an S. The second, there is a bad inside me. Let's assume it is apple. That gives us A. The third, a nail, N. For the fourth, what if it was dew, like dew from a flower? You will find me alongside an image, an after image, a dew perhaps. I'm a little rain.
Dew or dirty water.
Or something like that. It could be in sand, pour sand into order perhaps. I don't know. That's where my brain goes to initially.
Yeah.
Can I make a wisdom check to see if I'm right?
Go ahead.
Just straight up wisdom, yeah?
Believe in you.
Mm-hmm.
23.
You realize you're very much onto something. And with a 23, can you give me an insight check as well?
Yes.
Still believe
Oh, God.
Oh, 11.
I'm so mad at you.
11's high enough with it. You notice your side. When you say it out loud, Dan's is gritting his little mouth together. He doesn't necessarily have teeth. He's pressing his lips together and he's like...
Oh. Is there...
The third one
Is
is a dog.
Is there any sand nearby? Like any kind of like
Chuckle.
area? Huh?
I just chuckle when he says that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there would be like kind of little banks of it, closer to where like some of the river was. Where like streams are flowing through the thicket. So
I'll go and scoop up a little bit. I'll say the rest. Maybe just in case I'm wrong, perhaps everyone should stand back.
I'll shrug and step back.
I want to lean over to Dan's. I don't know if it's right, but I want to say we have to pour you on it, don't we?
he looks at you and says,
Oh God.
"Yes, just a sliver of me."
That's what I thought.
If I'm correct, it's a fingerprint-sized jutting stone, right? It's like a little fingerprint thing, like. Yeah, like maybe press the sand against it or something like that, or something.
Got a little bit of
I
sand?
think. Yeah.
You press the sand against it. The stone comes in. You hear zzz, and then the stone comes out, and you see across it a comes out and it's longer, twice the size of the other one, and it has words imprinted across it. And the words it says. And
This is what Spring wanted to know, wasn't it? The actual words on this.
Mm-hmm.
And beneath the tides of fate. I will link that in the chat as well. And beneath the tides of fate.
Tides of fate.
I just watched Dan's.
That is not how that was meant to go. You're meant to. You see him kind of curl his hand, but he's only got like 2 fingers. So he squeezes it together. You see this kind of secretion ooze out.
We are meant to what?
A dog. Far-fetched. Sit beside you. You find me alongside an image. Spit.
Dance.
My name, you're meant to put.
You want the reverse?
It doesn't matter.
No?
No.
You okay?
And in that moment, Dan's looks down towards you, Draven, and lets out this kind of aura. You can smell this perfume just take into the air as this kind of pungent greenish purple, like almost just gaseous form comes out. And you breathe it in. Can you please make a wisdom saving throw?
Draven doesn't breathe.
Oh.
You
What a got him.
breathe it in.
It's left.
And he looks at you and goes,
Yeah,
Yes.
you're a terrible Skald.
Are you trying
kill
to
them!
fight us? I just
And-
shake my head.
We're going to go ahead.
Yeah, baby.
And we're going to roll initiative. Go
Hell
ahead and put
yeah.
yourselves around. Draven, you're going to be closer to Dan's.
Yeah, that's fine.
If you're wondering what Dan's looks like, by the way, he's a fragrant one from the Tomb of Beasts. So he's like this.
Oh, nice.
My favorite looking creature. It's so ridiculous.
Wait, I think maybe I'm broken because I just see them.
Yeah, I don't have.
Yeah, we just see the map.
It's just the map.
Let me pull you over across to here. There you go.
I
Here's
just thought we'd
Dan.
be like very
Hey.
small.
Oh, gross.
He's a big
God.
Oh
That's
wow.
Very funny. So you would be closer to him, Draven. Let me go
Yes.
ahead and put you the turn order out. And go ahead
Look at his face.
and put yourselves.
Might it not bring me? Please, Joe, help.
What's wrong?
It's not adding me.
You can drag yourself to anything.
Yeah, you can,
Yeah, I'm
drag
trying
yourself
to.
and then. Oh, is it? Try dragging by.
It was the name. I was dragging the token.
Yeah.
That's why.
And let's go ahead and put something a little bit more fitting on.
What was the fourth one, Joe? Just out of it, was it do
So-
or like?
So you actually worked out the answer, but
Uh-huh.
not in a way I would have expected, which is great. Because it was
That's so
dog.
typical.
It was dog, apple, nail, far-fetched dog. Sits beside you, etc. The
Yeah.
last one was spit, spitting image. Little rain is called spitting rain,
Yeah,
and then
makes sense.
a bucket of spit means you don't have anything. So
Yeah.
you managed to work it out, and the idea was that the word spelled Dan's, and Dan's tricks people into putting his name in, but it's a
Right.
false name that he uses to trick people, essentially. So
Right.
you managed to work it out and get around Dan's little trickster behavior.
So,
by,
but the answer is sand.
Dragons.
the
yeah,
answer
so
is
it was
sand.
meant
Because
to
if you rearrange
rearrange.
Dan's, it becomes sand. So you managed to. It was,
Yeah,
I
put it
was,
right
it was,
now.
I was trying to keep my composure. It was so funny in my head.
I just was like,
Shadow is so good.
Shadow works
that's-
so
I
well
was
for
just
that.
like, I was thinking about it really hard. Like the last one I couldn't figure out, but I was like, yeah, I think Shadow's like a really good one for the first one. And I was like, sand, like the order of the thing. Oh, it's like the reverse of
Yeah.
Dan's. Like I was like, oh, cool. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it was funny.
No,
Or,
it's
like
genius.
close enough, but yeah. That's
I mean,
funny.
yeah, that's the
really
thing,
funny.
right? Is the logic fit, and that's amazing that it fits. And makes the-
Wisdom.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's so good. All right,
I'm so glad Deathless Nature came into like.
Oh my
actual
god, that
concept.
Yeah.
was such a good bottom.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and give him an aura of 20
Hell yeah.
feet.
Of yucky.
Imagine breathing.
Right?
Insane, you know?
Yeah.
Imagine.
Breathing slugman.
Yeah. Let's go
How do I
ahead
get
and-
myself on the initiative?
So
If
Your token
taking
and then
through,
click
Gabe.
initiative on your sheet.
So click your token, yeah.
and then you can just edit it if you already rolled.
there we go.
Click the token.
Yeah. If you click on your token and
I
then
just
click
see
initiative.
token settings.
Like on the
Open your
map.
character sheet
Yes.
as
Yeah,
well.
so just
Oh.
like click on it as in like
Like
left click,
select
right
it
Not
click.
on the map.
Yeah,
Left
and
click.
then click initiative on your sheet. Who has the same initiative as me?
Is me.
What is your dexterity?
My dexterity is
Good.
15 actually. It's not super good. My wisdom is high.
Nice. Higher.
So I think are you going first or am I going first?
Are you on the thing now? Are you still struggling?
Yeah. I
That's okay,
see
um,
initiative modifier, but
Initiative is.
I'm looking at a different version of the character sheet. Apparently,
Oh.
Oh.
it looks
Are
like
you-
a different format.
Are
Yeah,
you looking
mine's
at
like
roll
in dark
20?
mode.
I do have roll 20. Yeah. I'm looking at roll 20.
Okay. On your sheet, you should see it. Oh, it's because you're in your modifier thing. If you go back to core here, I don't know if that changed it for you, but initiative is right in the center above your health.
Core. Ah,
Along
yes,
the
okay.
top. Yeah.
Cool.
Hey.
Hey.
So you do have to click your token on the map. That was the one thing that was confusing.
Breezy, did you roll your HP? Your HP looks a little low. It's a
My
DA for.
HP is correct on my beyond.
Okay, yeah, that's fine
not
then.
on
As long
here.
as you can track it yourself and you don't. feel
Yeah.
like it.
I like
Can I
that he
say?
was worried.
Yeah, I mean, she only had a base level 1 HP.
There you
and I was
go.
like,
We had people in Godforge that had like the wrong HP for like so many levels, and then we were like, wait, how is it only 40? There's something
Yeah.
wrong with your math.
Yeah.
And then
Let's
Brizzy,
go back and fix
in the
that.
initiative, you can scroll down and click your number and then just edit it.
Yeah, I just did.
Oh, I can do this.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah.
I think
Okay.
Skagzag and Goblins never updated his HP.
I know that
Yeah.
name. I just went to a festival about that guy.
He also never took new spells for the entire campaign.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
Typical
fog
Grendel.
cloud.
All right. Up first is the thug, who kind of steps round straight towards you, Draven, and is going to take 2 mace attacks.
Let's do it.
A 22 to hit
That hits.
for 6 points of bludgeoning, as he just
Nope.
swings his mace against the side of you, and then swings again, and that's a 9. He hits against you once, and it goes to swing again. I imagine you kind of just pull out your sword and deflect it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, push
You
him back
only
a
get
little bit.
one.
You see him just kind of stare towards you. Yes, boss. Willoughby.
Willoughby is going to back up. He got the shit kicked out of it last time. He's like, I'll just stand back here. And then he is going to cast. Let me just check the range on this. Oh, yeah. I'm going to cast Moonbeam right on these two here. It's a 10 by 10 area.
Okay. What's that, a con save?
Yeah.
And on the thug, the fragrant one fails. And the thug also fails.
Nice. They take 11 radiant damage.
11 radiant damage. As
And
the beam shoots
Nice.
down against them. And starts kind of burning through you. So you go, "Ah!"
right on.
Okay, anything else?
I'm gonna move back one more. Just get behind someone.
Okay.
And I'm also going to. It's a free action for me to drop my wild shape. With story form. Story form, it's a free
I
action.
believe so, yeah.
Yep. So I'm going to drop it and reactivate it with Archer, which gives me a bonus action immediately when I activate it to attack. I'm going to
Okay.
shoot at the wolf for a Archer form attack. 13 to hit.
That is exactly the armor class you need to hit.
For another 9 damage.
9 damage, very nice. As you just kind of turn, your body forms and glows with the different coloration of the archer. You pull back, your arm turning into the bow, and you fire your arrow, and it hits straight into it.
So cool.
Very nice. Is that the end of your turn?
Mm-hmm.
Draven, Lane, you're on deck.
Draven brings his blade across his arm, and as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Shield of Faith to bump my AC up a little bit.
Okay.
And I look at the gas man. You're not worth my time. And then I go for the thug next to them.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to attack with my longsword. That's a 10.
See, as he just manages to deflect against it.
Now we're playing. Bring it on. That's my turn.
Cool.
Oh, hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Moonbeam's concentration, so it stays as a
Oh,
circle
yeah, so
here.
it should be on them. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me get a little image for that. Is it circle or is it
It is a.
Square.
Let me get you the exact thing. It is a 5-foot radius cylinder. So 2 block by 2 block cylinder up into the air for 40 feet.
Yeah, 4 squares worth, basically, I think.
Yep.
Right. Bam, 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 bam.
A baby
I
step.
can get a little 10-foot circle.
I can move it on any action to reposition.
Okay. 2 seconds. Let me find something. Oh, I might be able to find an actual straight moonbeam on here. 1 sec.
Hey.
Lane, it'll be
Get
your
them
turn
tokens.
once I just grab this. What'd you like to do?
Okay, I am going to be a little bit wary about the fact that he just exhaled some stuff. So I don't think I'm going to get any closer, but I will shoot him with my bow.
Okay.
And I will shoot the slug.
Nice.
Sorry, Dan's.
Slug.
I'm not sorry. 19.
He is going to use his reaction to move the attack over towards the wolf.
Oh, that's sad. Then I shoot the dog, I guess. With
Yeah.
a 19.
You see
And I
as
do
it
9
kind of
points of
it
damage.
goes in the front, and it just dives and just gets hit by the arrow, and it kind of falls back down to its point. As another 9 points of damage.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna just look at my bow like, the fuck? That's not what I meant to hit. And,
The wolf actually drops down dead.
oh man, I just
It
killed a
falls
dog.
from the arrow and then
My
slumps
dog's
on
in
the
the other
ground.
room right now, just pissed for no reason. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, and I will stay there.
Okay.
How big was this dog?
I mean, it was a wolf. It wasn't a dog. It was pretty
Okay,
sizable.
wolf. Okay,
Pretty big.
Okay. Can I ride it?
Could you have ridden it? Not effectively,
Cool.
because it would. It
But-
should. If it was a bit bigger. It's like it is the size of a very large dog, but.
Okay. I'm just curious.
Anything else in your turn, Lena?
No, I think I'm good.
Juno.
So I've seen this weird gas come out the slug man, right?
Yes, it's like a pungent perfume all in the air.
I hope you don't think it's metagaming, but Juno would probably think probably shouldn't breathe that in. But before I move over, Juno's gonna look at Slugman and say, "So, you like to play riddles?" And then she does this. Let me ask you a question, and I'm gonna run up, and then as I get within range, I'm gonna hold my breath as I run in. And then you see the golden warrior woman sort of appear behind her as her dialogus gets summoned and just, Ella! And I am going to activate it. So it's going to hit both of these guys. On a bonus action, activate my arms of the astral self. Both of them need to make a dexterity saving throw, or they take 2 rolls of my martial arts die of force damage, which is 2d4.
Get slammed.
Come on and slam.
The fragrant one fails, but the other one, what's the DC?
14.
The other one makes it just so.
Okay, so I think the other one, The thug takes no damage, but the fragrant one will just take all of it. So 6 force damage. Okay. As my bonus action, and then as my action, I'm going to use my I'm going to use Golden Wisdom to attack as my attack action.
Sounds good.
So this is using my Wisdom instead of my Strength or Dex. So that is a 14 to hit.
Hits.
Beat his ass.
For 9 force damage.
That's on the fragrant one, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
all on slug. And as
slug.
I punch, it's just like no, actually, Juno can't speak, but you would probably hear this kind of like disembodied voice probably ask a question like, what is the nature of I can't think of something. Something clever is asked. Mark is dumb. Juno smart.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah,
so,
You see it kind of.
It would be something like, what is the answer to a riddle? Like the question or the answer or something like some bullshit philosophy question.
Yeah,
it gets asked.
You see it responds. It's like, it's not about the riddle. It's about the result. And can you just see kind of a bit of the slime from the blood just drips down from where you've kind of bruised into its skin.
Nice.
Can you
That's
make
me
a
done.
Constitution saving throw? Because you are a breathing creature technically, so you might be able to get around it.
It's fine. 15.
You successfully hold your breath.
Okay, nice.
On its turn.
So whenever they start a turn, they have to do the con save again or take the damage when their turn starts. So DC 15.
It fails again.
Another 2d10. That's another 15 radiant.
15 radiant.
Lambda.
Very nice. You see, it looks a little hurt, and it's gonna move. Yeah, it's gonna move.
Where are you moving?
There you go. There you go.
Me and Draven got those attack of opportunities for you, baby.
Bring the beam.
Can't imagine he's very fast.
It is going to dash. And it is going to move
2 feet.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. To here. You both get an attack opportunity as it slides past.
Hell yeah. Don't mess this up, Draven.
21 for me.
That hits.
25.
Both hit.
Oh, hang on. Sorry, that was another attack. Oh, why is it doing attack rolls?
I'm gonna put a divine smite on it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, baby. 7
Nice.
force damage from me.
7 force damage. Very nice.
5 radiant, 7 slashing, so a total of 12.
Very nice. It's looking hurt. You just kind of, you slash down against it and you punch at the same time. It goes, gets right into range. The gas just pours out to all 3 of you. Willoughby, can you breathe?
I don't breathe.
That means Eldred and Lena, can you make a wisdom saving
No
throw?
breathing gang.
We're basically the no breathing grandpas.
That's true.
Wisdom?
Yes, please. Wisdom saves.
25.
Oh, I failed that one.
It pours into you, Eldred, and you're like, it stinks, but it doesn't kind of fester in you. Lena, you breathe in, and you're charmed.
That makes sense.
Good. You fight your friends off. Stop them from killing me. Kill them.
Yeah.
Makes sense to you?
Lena's scary.
Rizzy.
I am going to back up out of the cloud. I was reaching towards the ground with 2 fingers sort of pointed at the dirt, but seeing Lena's face change and hearing his words, I switched to an open palm and just sort of grip onto the dirt and stare at her. And I'm going to cast Nos Reptilo. Try to cast Hold Person on Lena.
Okay.
So wisdom saving throw, please.
I just did pretty bad on the other one, so let's see what happens. 18.
No.
Of course.
You kind of withhold against it.
Yeah, some ghosties come out of the ground and try to grab you and hold you in place, but you just
You
drop
know
'em
Eldred's
off.
magic. You're used to fighting alongside her.
I'm just going to circle around, sort of, to the other side of the rock.
Okay. Top of the round
That's my
again.
turn.
The thug starts his turn in the aura, so he has to do a con save. He fails.
That's gonna be another smooth 20 radiant.
Oh my god.
Is that the max roll?
Tom.
That's the max roll right there.
Oh, that's
Man,
brilliant.
this moonbeam is doing work today.
Hell
He
yeah,
is
bro.
very, very hurt. You see it going to burst down against him again. He's like, ugh, and then moves 5'10" to here, standing next to you guys. And he's going to attack once against you, Juno.
Mhm.
An 11 to hit, so he misses that one, so he goes in for a second swing against you.
Yep.
Unnatural 20.
Okay.
Only
I don't think
3
I do
points
anything.
of bludgeoning damage. As he kind of whacks against you meekly, you can see a lot of his strength has kind of faded, and he just hits against your arm. You feel kind of bruised up a little bit.
Malaka.
Willoughby.
I'm going to use my action to move the moonbeam.
How far can you move it?
This boy. 60 feet
God damn.
in any direction.
That moonbeam's nasty.
I'm also going to move Willoughby back, because I don't want to be near this guy. And I'm going to shoot at him with Archer form again. That's 18 to hit him.
18 hits.
For another 12 radiant damage.
You're a monster.
I do a lot of damage.
Investigator, my ass.
Healer, damage, investigator. Willoughby does it all.
Assassin.
He is looking very hurt.
I investigate my own murders.
Sorry, never mind. Keep going.
Look, after how bad I got bodied last fight, like basically near dead, didn't do anything. I
shit.
had to do something.
I feel that.
All right, that's me.
Okay.
Hey, Joe, I'm gonna DM you a second.
Okay.
Ooh.
You're the dungeon master now.
Lane is like, I'm the DM now. Look at me.
Your turn, Draven.
Cool. Gonna swing at this dummy. 18 to hit.
18 hits.
And I'm not gonna put a smite in there. I'm just gonna strike him regular. That is 11 slashing.
Nice.
You cut straight through this guy, and he drops down to the ground dead.
I mean, actually, I'm
Also,
sad about that.
I think you can only take damage from moonbeam once per turn, right?
It's on the start of their turn. So on their turn, they take it again.
It's start of the turn or the first time they move in. So when you first cast,
Well, no, when they move, I'll read it out. Silver beam of paralight shines down until spell ends. Dim light fills the cylinder. When a creature enters a spell area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, it takes damage.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I could double check it, but I think it's
Turn enters it. Is
Yeah,
its own action.
I think it's meant to be once per turn. Otherwise, it'd be essentially a 4d10 damage at level 2. So I think it's meant to be once per turn.
I think, I can paste it, the exact text into the chat if you want.
Yeah, I can look
Creature
after.
enters the spells area for the first time on its turn. Yeah. We should look it afterwards.
Yeah,
but
it's all good afterwards. Yeah. Okay.
War starts its turn.
Lena,
Did you see my DM?
let me look at
That
it
will
now.
determine what I do.
What do I do?
Give me 2 seconds to check that.
I did a quick check and couldn't decide.
If it's not on. No, you can.
I can.
Yeah, specifically,
Okay.
it would mention.
Okay. Okay. Do I get to choose my action? Like, do I get to choose who I tap? Like,
If you feel comfortable enough, yes. Otherwise, if you would like me to do it, that is also fine.
no, I'm
Or if you want to do a dice roll.
no, I'm okay. Okay, I will. I'm gonna stay where I am. And sorry, I'm gonna shoot Eldred because she just tried to hold person me. So I will stay here. 20.
20 to hit Eldred. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Sorry. For 9.
9 points of damage.
Or no, for 6. Sorry, I forgot.
Oh, you
to
don't have
untoggle
sneak.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. 6.
6 points of damage as an arrow hits against you.
All right.
I just stare at her. And I will, I think, stay there.
Okay. Juno.
All right. I think I can figure out. I think Juno's smart enough to figure out what's going on with Lena and stuff. I can see the Slugman. Like Draven just took care of the other problem. Slugman's looking heavily injured. So I think again, just kind of quick breath out, suck in some more air, dive in, and this time it's a full-on golden wisdom, as many attacks as I can get, action, bonus action, key, flurry of blows for 3 attacks. You just hear the la 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 from golden wisdom, and the last thing kind of Juno calls out is just like making others fight for you. I'm surprised you even managed to solve your own riddle, and then dive in. And from 10 feet away, because I don't need to step into the moonbeam, because the astral self gives me reach, so I get the 10-foot reach with the attacks. And this is 3 unarmed strikes, or 3 golden wisdom attacks. 22 on the first one.
22 hits.
6 force damage.
1 second. Yep. Okay. Yep.
Next one, 13 to hit.
Yes. Just makes
7 force damage.
Do you want to describe how you take him down?
Yeah,
You can see
I
as
want to roll the last
kind
one.
of, as you're speaking to him, he's like,
Uh-huh.
"It wasn't even my riddle. My name's not even Dan. You damnable creature!" And then your fists start coming in.
Yeah, it's just like, and it'll be questions just like, do the strong bend minds of others to their will, or do they inspire others? Is a man who does his own work the true master of his own actions? Blah, blah, blah. Like, all these different questions come in with the punches. And then the last one is just this final thing where Juno probably takes the step back and just kind of flips the Skald Stone up in the air and just says, "Your riddle days are over." And then one final kind of punch, maybe like leaves a hole in the sluggy body.
Nice.
Just like a big old kind of like...
Nice.
And then Golden Wisdom just folds her arms behind Juno and remains there. She doesn't disappear this time. She just kind of, the Golden Wisdom form just sticks around behind her. And then I'll look over to Lena, and I think I would immediately rush towards Lena to kind of like try and snap her out of it, like see if she's back to her senses.
The moment you punch the fist in, and like the fist comes out, whereas the usual fist would be covered in the slime, it all just pours past your Golden Wisdom and just kind of drops to the ground, and you can see it kind of looks down at itself and has this kind of cognitive moment of being like trying to like hold it closed, and just drops down dead. And the perfume smell immediately just condenses, and you get this kind of almost like a deflating balloon sound, just goes as the creature just deflates against the grass, ending combat.
Lena, are you okay? Are you with us?
Am I okay?
It completely fades from you. You are absolutely fine. You find yourself breathing out
Eldred.
and just coughing
I
out
am
some fumes.
so sorry. That's.
I know. I've dealt with worse. It's all right.
I am very sorry.
As long as you're okay now, I wasn't sure if that
No, I'm
effect would
fine.
linger.
It's like, I don't know. It made sense at the time. It
Yeah.
happens, right? Sometimes.
I want to run over to the man who was fighting.
I'm running his pockets.
I mean, I will cast Spare the Dying to see if there's a chance at saving him.
Yeah. I mean, you could. He's technically dead. So if you have anything that might bring him back.
No. No, just a cantrip.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
tried.
You go over there and you attempt to spare him.
Yeah.
You realize this
Hands
was moved
on his chest, whispering some creepy words Ghosts fly in, don't find anything to latch onto, and disappear.
Raven's looting bodies.
Oh yeah, I'm running this man's pockets. I'm
What
about
does he have on him?
Yeah, you could find 14 gold pieces and 7 silver just off the bat, and then roll an investigation check if you like.
I did because I planned for this, but I didn't do the math because I apparently didn't think that far ahead.
That's okay.
17
17
plus 0.
You'd find in his pocket a little kind of makeshift like drawing of a map, almost like he'd kind of like quilled it down and it was trying to go through the woodlands and whatnot, and like a circle around the stone, as if to suggest he was trying to find it.
Oh,
Otherwise,
poor lad.
he's wearing a worn-out chainmail, so it has a -1 to its AC, and a mace, a two-handed mace. But he looks to be like a kind of a middle-aged guy.
So can I gather that it appears he was just charmed also by Dance? Or actually working with him?
It seems by the way he was acting was similar to Lena. It seems he was...
He came here to find this too. Same thing happened to him.
Perhaps
Yeah.
part of this trick that Dance does, or
Yes.
this miasma that he had around him. Poor soul.
It's unfortunate.
Well, at least nobody else will be falling for this disgusting creature's tricks.
That is probably not true. Didn't they say that they weren't in charge?
They said something about the damnable creature turned them into it. Yes.
Just to... He said, you damnable creature. He was saying that he didn't write the riddle.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I'm gonna poke like some of the slime with the tip of my bow. Like, is it just regular slime?
Yeah, it is a thick mucus kind of slime. It is the equivalent of if you were to pick up a slug and get the kind of slime there, but tenfold, like 100.
I'm gonna take a little
see it kind of
like
ripping down it.
a tiny like little vial-y bottle and put some in there just in
Okay.
case we need some slime later.
Yeah, you see it kind of fill up.
Gross slug slime.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
What are
grab
your
the wolf.
intentions with that?
I don't know, but it seems sticky and like you never know when you might need
Collecting.
things. Do I need these little ball bit? Probably not, right? But what if I do? Now I have it.
I don't know. I feel like those could be very useful.
Well, this might come in handy.
Maybe you can sell it to the seed man.
You pick up the wolf, Draven?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on my shoulders. I want him. I want a cloak.
Cool. Yeah.
It's pretty badass.
Also, Draven folds the arms and then makes sure the sword is in their hand.
Isn't that important? Do we bury them, or is it fine they held their weapon?
Oh, I think that's fine.
We leave him here.
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing, he doesn't have anything on him, right, that says, like, where he's from or anything identifying. We could bring something back.
I have a sneaking suspicion that this man was working for Spring. And Spring sent them out here to find it. The boy mentioned that there were 3 that came by in the last few weeks, all looking for the Skald
I
Stone.
think we know what he looks like. We can describe him.
Mm-hmm.
True.
We take the stone back to thingy. The words on the Skald Stone, and beneath the tides of fate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that means anything, but that was all that was on the stone.
I think when you put them all together, right, you go to all the stones, you get the words, you put them all together.
So I can keep this one for now, but
Okay.
I got to say, Willoughby, that's a mighty powerful spell that you used, calling down a beam of fire from the sky or something. That was pretty wild.
Yeah, I've got some moves.
You got some moves.
Got some moves. Let me get going.
Yeah, I don't want to like sleep in a slimy maze. Maybe we just try.
But
to
you do
move
want
on.
to collect slime.
I feel that's
Let's
different
carry it
than like
around.
sleeping in it. It's in a bottle in my bag. That is
Technically,
fine.
you're sleeping with it if it's in a bag.
I'm sleeping with the slime, not in the slime.
Like a shadow.
Positions are important, Willoughby. Then I just smile.
Like with the discussion of the slime, you see the golden woman behind Juno just kind of frown at this like discussion of slime, like almost like a sentient response to it, just like makes a face.
Well, let's go.
All right.
Okay. You notice by the time you're kind of done fighting, done the riddles as well, dusk has come and the stone has been glowing brighter purple, and you can hear the sounds of the woodland in the background now that you don't have Dan's trying to mock you all the sounds of fighting. And you can see the pathway that you led through as the vines and the roots converge up and lead a one direct, very easy path that leads out of the woodland,
Look
allowing
at
you to
that.
lead.
Does the Skald Stone glow as well, or just the
Yeah.
big main runic stone?
Oh, the small Skald Stone in your hand? Yeah. I would say it glows very softly. The words along it glow.
Yeah, Juno just puts that like in a little leather pouch on her belt or something.
Okay.
I don't think we need an invitation. We just get on with it, yes?
Sounds
Yeah.
good to me.
As quickly as possible.
Yes, let me just give me a second, and then I'll dismiss astral form, because otherwise she's around for like 10 minutes. So
Okay.
cool. Yeah.
Is anyone hurt significantly?
That swordsman
mean,
clipped my arm, but that's fine. It's really nothing.
Honestly, I am psychically wounded and feel slightly embarrassed about all of this. But things happen.
No, I'm fine. See, I place a hand on my wound from the arrow.
want me to-
Just
I can-
cast cure wounds on
Okay.
myself.
I would have gotten that for you. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it
No,
again.
Herot, it's no problem.
Imagine breathing.
Truly don't remember the sensation of breathing.
Right, it's so weird.
I mostly quite like breathing, honestly.
I've got to say, yes, I thought at first you had just resisted the effects of it, Raven, but so you don't breathe? You didn't breathe in any of that gas? Willoughby, I kind of made the same assumption for. I assumed that, he didn't seem to be affected, but you don't breathe?
No, breathing is for the, well,
Did you
fully
breathe
living.
before you? So you breathed before, and now you don't
I didn't.
need to breathe.
I didn't die. This
You
was a gift.
No, I didn't mean like in a bad way. I just meant like before you could breathe, or before you had to breathe. Now you don't. Or
No,
you
I've
just
always
never
been like this.
breathed. Oh, even as a tiny baby, no breathing.
Mhm.
What if you are surprised?
Do you just make the sound without?
Ah,
Huh,
I
that's
can.
good.
I can. What's the word? Like I can
Ah,
blow,
got it,
but
yes.
I
You
don't
just
have.
don't need to.
I don't have to.
It's good that you can still blow, because if you get a hair in your face, right, to get it out, and you can't
My
do
hair's
that.
always perfect.
It's true.
You got lungs? Or is it just empty cavity where your lungs should be?
Is there
Shit,
just
I don't
space
know.
in there?
And now
If
you
Willoughby,
know
I'm
how
assuming
I
you've
feel.
just got the cavity.
you
You're
go-
just cavity in there, right, Willoughby? You're just sort of trunk.
I'm sure
I can't
we
believe
could
you turned
open
this
up.
back around to me. This was my moment to finally ask someone
No,
else.
Draven, if
Yeah,
you
but
go
no,
side
by
to
all
side,
means.
does things move inside you? Like, if
He's
you go very
figuring it
fast?
out, I think. Look, he's trying
I
to.
have plenty of energy left. We could open you up and I could heal you back.
Oh, yeah, do you want to
Nope.
try? We could
Nope.
see.
Nope.
No? Okay.
Nope.
But that does
I-
raise
Sure.
this does raise a point. So Willoughby gets magical power from the Yggdrasil, the world tree, from what I understand, and the Raven has some sort of supernatural gift. I'm assuming this nature of your sort of unliving body empowers some of your things, and that you can do. And Lena is adept with a bow and things like that. But Eldred. What are you, a sorceress? Are you? Where does you can heal, but you can also channel these ghostly spirits or something? How? What? How?
I am a cleric of Ekati.
Hecate.
Just smile.
Who is that?
Hecate
Goddess
is...
of magic and the moon?
That's Norse god, isn't she? She's a Norse
Of
god.
your place.
Oh, that's what I was going to check. I was like, okay, if it's Mesogaian god, I would know.
Yeah.
I said what I said.
Okay, that raises an interesting eyebrow.
What did you say?
He was like, who's that? And I'm like, you should know who that is. Hecate of Mesogaia.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, of course.
You're a priestess of a Mesogaian god.
Yes, when the worlds combined, I learned of her, and she appeals to me.
Oh, I don't know. It's just unexpected, but quite nice in a way. I don't know much about Hecate's teachings, but I don't know. There's something.
She hates death, obviously.
Yes, Hell has quite the distaste for Hecate and her teachings, so
And you do not have any love for hell, if I remember.
that might be a reason I'm drawn to Hecate.
Hell is shit too.
Oh, that's fair.
So far, you don't seem to like a lot of your gods, I'll be honest.
Do they like me? Why do I need to like them?
No, you don't.
They
You
can
don't
earn
need to
my
like them at all.
liking.
No.
At least some
I'm
of them.
surprised. Many people, they're very dedicated to the gods around the world.
It's
I
more
don't care.
Well, Juno, we're not from this place. The rules
No,
are probably different.
Oh, even
I
in our
think-
world, I still think that some of our gods are not much better. But yeah, I'm just surprised. I thought that people here revered their gods, but I'm clearly you're right.
If you
Raven.
have, for most of them, I don't. I'm neutral. I'm god neutral for most, right? But if one does something bad to me, to my family,
Of course.
they're shit. Thor, shit. Hell, shit. Loki, mostly okay right now. Sometimes he is shit too.
What did Thru do
That's
to
how
your
it goes.
family?
Guessing just by association, right?
I think that what her father did is enough to poison that entire line. And so I do not like any of them.
As
And
we
I
learned
would be
today,
quite content if they were all dead. Maybe I will make that
Clearly.
happen.
the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, as the stone said.
Exactly.
Very true. Oh, it's just fascinating. Fascinating things to learn. So much to learn about your
I
world.
think, sometimes the gods are, I don't know how they are for you. They're pretty fickle, right?
Oh, yes.
And
oh, yes.
sometimes they love you. Sometimes they just like you. Sometimes they don't notice you at all.
Draven
And
makes a face of true disdain after you say that, and he actually walks ahead of the group.
Sometimes when they don't notice you at all, it can be just as bad as when they hate you.
I don't know much about your gods, Lena. I've long held a theory about our world's gods. They are things. They are things. They are beings of a concept. The god of thunder will only ever be the god of thunder. Thunder is all that they can know. They cannot know necessarily anything else. Hephaestus will always be the god of the forge, of smiths. They cannot be anything else. And that is what makes them fickle and so alien to us, because we as mortals, we choose, we make choices. We can choose to forgive, we can choose to love, we can choose to hate, we can choose to notice, but the gods don't always have that choice. Like you, I don't particularly care for them in any way. I think of them no different to the volcano that destroys the village that it erupts beside, or the tidal wave that consumes the village on the ocean. They are just doing what they do. Doesn't mean we have to like it, of course, but I do
No,
find
and I
it
think-
fascinating.
That is a good point. I change what I choose to do all the time. Every day I can choose something else. I can change and do whatever I want. right now, I will see what is going on with Grendel, with Bruder, and I guess Thrud. Rolls
See where
eyes.
it leads.
And see where it leads. If it leads somewhere terrible, that is also okay. I will just not go there. I'll go somewhere else. Right?
Can I let you in on a little secret?
Sure.
I think that ability to choose, that choice, it's what makes us better.
I kind
Eventually.
of think so too.
We did not choose to be mortals. The gods did not choose to be gods.
No.
But the fact that they have these powers, this great power and hand over us, for the most part, having that power will corrupt. It's not a rule, but from what I've seen of who I know of in our realm, most of them do not turn out well of this power, whether they chose to have it or not.
No. I think that connects part of the lack of choice, but also, you have a god of war. Give a god of war so much power, and what are they going to do with it? I think that with mortals, with us, I think we can achieve great things. More than we realize. It's a firm belief of mine.
I agree.
And I think that one day, whether together, or perhaps if one can achieve enlightenment, if one can achieve mastery of themselves, I think we can be greater. And we would have that choice. We would not be corrupted by that power. Only if we chose to be. But
this is why I have
this
love
is
for
deep.
Akati.
Mm.
She has great power, but she is choosing to share it and encourages everyone to seize their own power.
That seems
And
she seems a
uncover
good goddess.
secrets and more knowledge and magic, and everyone should have access to these things.
Seems good. Yes. So I think that her and Athena are very similar in that regard. They seem to desire empowerment. Athena is the one who encourages the place where I learnt everything. So I think that some are fine. And I think perhaps it is their very nature. Hecate, you said, is the goddess of magic, of the moon. I mean, what is magic, to such a gift to give to people? If she is magic, if magic is the core of her being, then it is something to be shared with everyone. Perhaps that is why her nature is the way it is. These are all theories. I do not pose to know all the answers myself. This is just purely personal thought. But it is interesting to know your relationship. I know we are but strangers. I'm glad to know you a little better, both of you.
Likewise.
You're a good girl, Juno.
I try to be.
Pat her on the shoulder.
Well, thank you.
You are.
I try. I'll just carry on.
Okay. Moving through the now cleared thicket and the easy way out takes you half the time, because even though you had the solution before, it did take longer to climb over all of the different branches. This time it's a much easier, cleaner experience. The grass leads the way. And you find yourselves outside and back on the road heading towards Herot. I'm going to go ahead and take a 5-minute break then, and we'll come back and see as you land in Herot. Okay, go and get yourselves a drink and whatnot, and we'll be back in 5.
Don't tell me what to do.
As for you, chat, I'm just going to run a 3-minute ad to push back the pre-rolls, but don't worry, you won't miss a thing. It's going to be happening during this moment. Back in a moment. Thanks everyone for coming out. Appreciate it as usual. Okay, chat will be unmuted in a sec. Okay, let me unmute. All right, I'll bring you guys up. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, welcome back into things. So, you have just left the thicket heading northward. I don't, unless you wanted to stop at the village. I'm not sure if you would, though, with your.
Yeah, we
current
gotta
plan.
tell that kid what happened.
Oh,
I mean, hey, look,
I feel like you forgot.
If you go on the
Obligations.
road and you see him, we'll tell him.
You'll find towards the end of the campaign, you're all happy, and then that kid's gonna shove
Past
you.
his bedtime.
You never told me. And a knife in his hand.
But
Just
also,
pulled
it's
out
been like,
an enchanted knife. God
it's
killing
also been
knife.
like 10 years, so now he's an adult. It's super
Yeah.
awkward. It's like haunted him his entire life. My mom said I couldn't go in there. I don't even know what happened.
You continue then heading up towards Herot. Are you gonna walk for until late into the night? Okay,
I'm fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
probably
character doesn't
right.
sleep.
that's true. You don't.
I have nothing stopping me but 1 hour of sunlight a day.
That's
Give
true.
you a cart, and then you can carry us the whole way through.
You press on then and push up towards Herot. You'd arrive probably closer to midnight, and you'd see that the hall tonight is kind of a quieter party. It's a very kind of everyone's just having smaller drinks. There's not as much music coming from there. Quieter music coming from some of the halls. This is what they considered like a dead night for them. But it's still pretty loud once you walk inside the halls. You'd hear one of the halls still has a kind of a pretty loud party going on, but it's one of the further ones down. The rest of them are just a lot of chattering and people talking and almost like a pub atmosphere. But you return into Herot before it turns midnight.
Do we want to just go straight to spring? Do we want to go to sleep? I don't care. I can do either.
I'm up
I
for
think it may be
just.
wise to go straight there.
I agree.
Figure out our plan
Yes.
after we've discussed with Spring.
Sounds good to me.
If she's there.
Yes. I think she probably will be. But yes, I think I agree. I think go there
If
straight
we
away.
wanted to spend an hour resting, I would be okay with that, but I'd like to get this done tonight.
Yeah. I think if necessary, we could even maybe get out of the city, and then once we're into the wilderness, find somewhere to camp, and we could sleep there. And at least that way, we're sort of ahead of everyone still.
Do you think
but
they'll notice if I take like a pillow from the room we've been staying in?
no,
They're
they expect you to
fine.
take them. It's like
Yeah, that's
when
what I think sometimes.
the spas and bathhouses in
Yes.
Mesogaya, they give you a robe, and they kind of expect you to take it.
Okay,
You know,
I
it's
don't
quite
feel so
cheap.
bad.
Yeah.
So you're kleptomaniacs.
No, it's
No,
just
I
sort of
fully
the
know
thing.
what
You
I'm
pay for the
doing.
service.
Yeah,
you know
it's
they
not-
overcharge you anyway.
I feel like kleptomania more is like a compulsion, and sometimes you don't know. I fully am aware that I'm taking.
You're just a
things.
serial thief.
I just don't mind.
Sorry, I should correct my
I
terminology.
don't. It's not like I take a lot of things, but the pillow is nice, and maybe I'll take it with me. I'm just saying. Anyway, let's go find Spring.
Okay. You head over towards
To
the
the
Hall
Hall
of
of
Spoken Coin.
Spoken Coin.
And you'd see that whereas the front of this section and the front of this hall is quiet, the back room seems to be more buzzing than ever. More
a
traffic
rave.
in there. Not quite like a rave, but you'd see the a
Business.
couple of bodyguards. Yeah, a lot more business happens late
A
in the night
business
here.
rave. I'm so sorry.
A couple
Business
of
rave.
No more raves here at this night. The couple of bodyguards with their arms folded outside, and they nod as you come through. As soon as you come through, you'd notice just kind of various kind of talks going on, and you would see Spring, and she sat opposite Derek, little, big, and tiny, and a couple of her own kind of bodyguards. You'd see two of them clearly Norse in their kind of ironclad helmets with small kind of eye holes where they're wearing them inside, wearing chainmail, kind of just resting on their axe hilts. But one of them, Mesogain, clearly wears kind of a dark grey Mesogain outfit, a little bit mercenary-like. It doesn't really represent any particular place. Helmet off, kind of under his arm, and they stand behind her, and she's kind of leaning on the table, nodding her head. And you think this is a good deal? You think this is a great deal? I'll pay more for them. I don't think so. I think I'm gonna keep on to them. And as you kind of walk in, you'd see she looks and goes, "Ah, my favorite folks.
Hello.
Little, big, tiny. I'm sure we'll do business soon. I'll be able to give you a good offer. Once Derek actually stops losing his mind over pride and starts realizing that coin matters more." And he goes, "Well, I don't think this it's really plausible that I would sell them like that. But you're excusing us from the table." Yes. You see, he kind of gets up, walks on, all big and tiny, all kind of nod, kind of walk past you, and the big one looks down. "They're fighting over us. Coin." And kind of walks on with the others, and they head over to like a corner area. Spring goes, "Sit. If you don't mind doing the business out here, no one's going to pry. Isn't that right, boys?" And all three of them kind of nod. "Just make sure no one pries. So,
Spring.
I'm guessing you've got
So?
good news. You haven't disappointed me so far."
How do we want to do this? We have the words from the Skald Stone. You have the information. Is this a I tell you half, you tell us half, or is this a we're going to trust each other?
You've got the stone? Why didn't you show me
We
the
can-
stone?
I think that the agreement was for what was written on the stone, wasn't it?
That's right.
Mm. Oh, I can tell you. It's all fresh up here.
And how do I know that you're not lying?
We can show her the bottom half of the stone.
Trust, Spring. You don't trust us?
You just said we were your favorite.
I show Spring the map that person had.
Oh.
There you go.
She takes it and looks at it.
I'm sure that was yours, right?
Big
No.
chap. No?
Not one of mine.
Oh. We thought it might have been.
Rolls up. Let's go to the side. Tell you what. You hold the stone and you can cover up half the words. Just so I know that you're telling me in the beginning.
I will cover up the second half of the stone and show her the and beneath. And I'll just show her that.
Okay. Interesting. Well, what would you like to know? Would you like to know something I learned?
I'll look at the rest. Look back to Spring. If this is concerning our demigod friend and the recent events involving them, and who might be responsible or involved, I think that's something we would like to know, yes? I'll check with everyone else, make sure we're like, yep, that's what we want to know, right?
Yeah.
Well, I could tell you this. You didn't have to go that way for the oryx milk, considering that the king has a little supply in his own halls, in his personal vaults, and only a few people have access to it. So, interesting. It takes a while to go foul.
Interesting.
Oh.
Neat.
I'll give you a little
Who has
something else.
access?
Well,
Yes, please.
it'll be him, his son, Dwal, perhaps a couple of the higher-ups I don't know about, like the Prophet. But I think it is only a few of them. Maybe a couple of the high-up guards. But they interchange them. And here's another little snippet. Well, they've shown me the other half of the words first.
I think that's fair. I will show Spring the other half.
Okay.
Beneath the tides of fate.
And for that, you've shown me trust, I'll show you trust. I have no interest in it anyway. Tomorrow, after sundown, the king is going to call in everyone and post a bounty on Grendel. I don't quite know the gold amount, but I do know that the gates will open tomorrow. So, what if I was to tell you there is a little way through the gates? Get there a little early.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That would be nice.
I mean, I guess that would be useful to us.
Oh, it might be. Maybe you decide that when you go up towards the gates, you just decide to wander into the far western portion of the gates. And maybe you wander over to the cave that you'll find against the mountain. And maybe inside that cave, you'll find a little boulder propped against the wall. And maybe, just maybe, you'll push it open and crawl inside the small hole for a few meters and follow it out that way. Though I must warn you, I do not know if anything resides in the cave anymore. We haven't used it as a smuggling path in a little while.
Good to know.
Very good to
All
know.
right.
Closest to the
Very
furthest
insightful.
part of the western gate. A little head start, maybe. So, is that fair information?
I'm very happy.
Seems good to me.
Yes.
Do you know who poisoned Throat?
No.
Do you
Maybe-
have a guess?
I don't like guessing, but I'll do it.
No.
Well, it could be any one of the Mesogaians, but they don't have access to any form of Aether Drop, unless they manage to get hold of it somehow, so they'd have had to learn of Thor's weakness, and perhaps, maybe, the person who did it would like to ignite things a little more between the two. Had something to gain. Perhaps someone high up. Perhaps someone who doesn't have anything to lose because once their father dies, the land is not theirs. It goes to another person. Perhaps a certain son.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. I have another question, if you don't mind, Spring.
I'm all answers. Go for it.
You keep an eye on things here in Herot, and you're very familiar with people that come and go.
I do.
Do you know anything about this brooder, Thrud's beloved?
Oh.
Seems to have just popped up in the last few weeks. Very smitten very quickly, it seems. An odd fellow.
I like big, little, tiny. Maybe you whisper into the ear a little bit about maybe talking through Derek into giving a contract over to me. Maybe just a little suggestion. And maybe I tell you
Maybe.
then that the brooder is not from these parts, from further up north. But might have learned that he arrived a little earlier. Like a month ago. So, it wasn't his first time in Herot.
Hmm.
Maybe you give him a
Interesting.
very, very good word. To little, big, tiny.
Hmm.
They are very nice.
Very
and we
nice.
do enjoy their company. I'm sure we would like
Oh.
to chat with them.
They're wonderful. Is she dead yet? Or did you save her?
No. Oh. Rude. Well,
No.
you will find out very quickly, I'm sure, right?
Do I need to leave?
Do you? Why would you need to leave if she is okay?
Because someone tried to poison the daughter of Thor. And I'm not looking to find myself at the squashing end of a giant hammer.
Yes.
It's
no.
a valid concern.
It is a very valid
Collateral
concern.
collateral damage.
We were
Um,
planning on leaving when the gates opened anyway. So maybe...
I think that you might be okay if you do that.
It seems relatively calm right now.
Okay.
She is still recovering.
We
But
are
she'll be
trying to
okay.
figure it
I would
out.
leave when the gates open, to be frank, though, regardless.
Hmm.
Of course. And if you are listening to all, we had nothing to do with it, of course. As you can see, I'm helping them.
Of course.
Hmm. Well, unless there's anything else, my friends, we might want to maybe get a quick little bit of rest before we head off, maybe?
Agreed.
Yes.
I'd also like to, we need to have a chat about what we tell our friends about some of these
Indeed.
revelations.
Spring, it has been a pleasure.
Ah, if I do not see you before I leave, perhaps I'll see you down the road.
Hmm.
Perhaps.
And
Our
if
paths
you
would cross.
do manage to kill Grendel, I have learned that the blood creates those little grendlings. If you could bring me a pint of it, I'd be very, 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 very happy with that.
Added quest to quest log. Spring wants Grendel blood.
I'll find a price that is convenient. No point talking specifics now because you could die.
It's true. Okay. Thank you, Spring.
Been a pleasure.
Willoughby?
No, I'm done. Let's leave.
No. Right, let's go.
Wilby's already walking out. Like, no, come on.
Right, no, I'm gone. Goodbye. Yeah, when we can get some private time, I think like definitely maybe go back up to our room or whatever and be like, so what do we think about Spring's theory and this information that the king had
They
the mills
gave
all along?
us 250 gold. To
Who
go
gave you? My memory is fuzzy.
The
The
king.
king.
The king was
Gave
was
us.
the boy? Was the prince there?
No. And we convinced him to lie to the advisor about why he was giving it to
why.
us as a
So we
reward for
said,
killing the
"Hey,
Grendlings.
we need
Advisor
to
Dwal?
find-" Yes. We said, hey, we need to find. We know where we can get some milk. It is going to cost us. Do you want this coming down on you, or do you want to give us the money, right, to get it?
But
And he gave us the money.
and he gave
Let's
us
do-
the money, but he has access to the milk himself right
Oh,
here.
two
Would
possibilities.
you not want
The-
to say, oh shit, it's
Mm.
crazy that you were poisoned under my roof, but I can save you. And now no one needs to be pissed at me. in
Not
my
if you want.
beautiful
To
hall.
be a hero.
There are two options. Either the king genuinely didn't know, and was maybe they thought that it had all been spent, it had gone off. It wouldn't be hard for his son to convince him that
It does smell terrible.
the other option is the king is lying and is trying to protect himself, and he gave you that money to throw us off the scent, that he had access to it, to make him think that. Or the last one is that yes, they could have done, and they were afraid of being sort of implicated. If they suddenly turn around and said, "Oh, it just so happens we've got the exact thing we need." The other thing which I think is interesting is Spring mentioning that the Bruder came to Herot a month before. Your theory, I think, Lena, you said if somebody drank lots of Orok milk beforehand, would that make them immune to the effects of the Aether drop?
And also, I don't know how. See, she's kind of wrestling with what to say. I don't know exactly, obviously, what things are like in Mesogaia, but it is very, very easy to make yourself look like someone else. And as Lena says that, she is going to cast Disguise Self and turn into Brooder.
I've heard about
And then drop it.
people that can use magic like this. I've not experienced it, so it's convincing to me.
There are, of course, other ways some folks can see through that, right? There are other things you can do to make yourself look like someone else, act like someone else, and just so happen to be on the same road where a young lady is going to travel.
No, I mean, of course it could be anyone. It could be Loki, baby. But anyone could be Loki. But the fact that Bruder was... I could be Loki. The fact that Bruder was seen a month ago here as himself before anyone should know who he is or the fact that he was here, I think lends credence to the fact that it was actually whoever Bruder is.
Something.
You know what I mean?
Joe, can you describe Bruder again, what he looked like?
Yeah, dark leathers, kind of dark hair. Essentially kind of a little bit washed over.
Hold on.
Kind of a pointy face.
Who was it that told us that we said, did anybody know it was going to be Thor? Oh, the advisor was talking to a man in dark leathers with dark...
Yes.
Right, what if Dwal was talking to Bruder before that Thor was coming?
He was excited.
He was very pale.
Thrud said...
was very pale, dark hair, I think.
Oh,
Thrud mentioned that Bruder was excited to meet Thor and then seemed disappointed when he didn't come, or that they didn't get to meet him.
It seems...
This is all connected somehow.
A scary fellow talking to a good-looking, pale, long hair.
Dark hair, dark leathers.
Long, dark hair. Would we consider Bruder's hair long? Dark?
Would I consider Bruder good-looking? Probably not, but everybody has different tastes, so... Anyway, I don't know. I'm just saying that it is suspicious, obviously, that...
Indeed, I think so.
Here and...
I guess perhaps this is more Willoughby's thing. I always remember in the plays of the great investigators of Mesogaia, the great investigator Poirot and many others in the plays that I've seen. There is always a motive, a reason for someone to wish another dead. There is an opportunity and a means. We know the means. We know it was Aether drop, so we know the means. But what is the motive? What is the who had the opportunity to poison Thrud? She did not eat or drink anything else. We must therefore assume it must have been the flagon of mead, which we also know Bruder drank, but did not die from. If we connect these facts, it creates... There is some elements here that we know for certain, and we must build upon that, right? must have been the flagon of ale. It's the only thing that she drank, the only thing that could have been poisoned. Which means somebody had to administer the poison to that mead. Who had access to it? The prince, the king, and Thrud and Bruder themselves.
And higher ups, perhaps.
Potentially, obviously.
Potentially, but...
Potentially some servants or something that were getting the hall ready.
But even then, they would be on the orders of someone else, right?
Yeah.
A servant cannot afford the 30,000 gold to buy Eiterdrop. It must have been the king or the prince, I think. They must be connected to this in some way, I think. Just by the nature of the opportunities, the nature of the cost of the poison. Perhaps it is too obvious, but...
What would either the king or the prince gain from igniting more of a fight between the pantheons? What would they gain from that?
Please, Willoughby.
If Thor were to die in a meeting with Ares, it may not immediately be pointed towards poison as the cause. It may be pointed towards Ares as the cause. Perhaps Ares poisoned him as a god of war. It was a tactical decision.
No.
This was my first thought.
It doesn't feel like something that
here.
It doesn't feel like something Ares would do. I don't think.
And I think we know now that Thor wouldn't have died. He would have had time to easily find Auroch milk.
Yes.
Ares have
True, but
died,
if Thor was weakened in front of Ares,
yeah.
Yes.
It could be someone just trying to, like Willoughby says, right, create discord. So
yeah,
you're not going to blame the king or anyone else in the court if there's also now a much, much more powerfully ignited conflict initiated here. It's a perfect distraction from dispatching Thor, the person that's keeping you from getting the land you feel like you deserve.
Joe, two weird questions. One, I have bit people and drank their blood. Did Bruder's blood taste like that of a human? Because he looked human.
You tasted it off the cloth, right?
Yes, I
did. It tasted human.
Did it taste diluted? Because I assume the milk would dilute the poison in the blood if he had already been drinking it.
Go ahead and roll for me. I'm going to say straight wisdom to try and determine out the flavors.
Okay.
You were tasting a pretty foul
flavor check.
Yeah, it's a flavor check.
There is another. There is something else. Whilst Draven recalls his memory, I have something. As in, go ahead.
Oh, that is a dirty 20.
With that, there was the foul taste. There was the human blood you could taste.
Yeah.
And there was also something else. You don't know what it is, because it's not a flavor you've had before.
Yep.
But you have... There was something else.
I would like to taste
the milk.
The milk again. He doesn't say all of that. He just mentions the milk part.
Do we still have... How much?
I don't want... Draven doesn't want to add more questions if he doesn't have answers, because there's a million already.
I'll have to go back and pick up the milk. I haven't been bringing it with me. I don't think so.
I can go get the milk.
Yeah.
Are you expecting to be poisoned?
No, but I want to taste it. I want to...
You are the one who tasted the blood on the cloth. If you think that it's relevant, I think we should follow that. There is another question, and forgive my memory. Bruder left the hall. We lost sight of Bruder for a time, did we not? They vanished somewhere, and then they came back to taunt us, which is when Grendel grabbed them. Is that true?
Well, they left with Thrud at the same time.
And then they came back. So we didn't see them after they left us. What if the Bruder who drank from the flagon and the Bruder who was grabbed by the Grendel... No, because the blood had the Aether drop in it. Yes, that is right. I'm thinking through. I'm speaking out loud. I had an idea there that perhaps there were two Bruders and they... But no, you're right.
That was
the
a
blood
fun idea.
Again,
Yeah.
it is easy
Oh,
to look
yes.
like someone
So it's
else.
a possibility, but as far as I'm concerned with Brooder, we need to pursue the Grendel
Yes.
line to really do much more. with
Confirm.
Brooder, we're just gonna add more questions.
Questions.
Do I go look for that milk?
Yeah.
I think that we should. We also need to decide, what do we tell Thrud? I feel that if we go off to find the Grendel, she's going to start tearing this place apart to find out who poisoned her.
Let's just take her.
Take her with
She
us. It's
can
not like
come
she's
with
going
us
to
if she
decline.
She wanted to
No,
go
Does
anyways.
she want to find Brooder, her true love?
I think she does. She
Plus, it
seems
would
smitten
be-
with him.
It would be
Can
nice
she
to have a demigod helping us.
Go
find
through the
Grendel.
tunnel?
You're not wrong.
I
What
guess
do
we ask
you? I am not recommending we do this, but what do you expect would happen if we confronted the king or the prince about their Orok milk? stock?
Hey, we know that you have milk. What is the deal? And then he's like, that's my private stash. I love it. It's so tasty. And I wanted you to get your own for her.
I would be interested to know if the king truly doesn't know about the stash, what their different stories would be, and what if we had them both and we confronted the prince about the milk, if he lies to us about it, we know he's trying to hide something.
Well, we could at least confirm one thing right now.
Yes.
Joe Wilby's gonna cast locate object for Orok milk.
Yeah,
he knows
baby.
where one is. If there's actually another stash, he's going to be able to locate it.
Yeah, let me just get. Can you post the
Tomato, you
wording for
genius.
locate
Would,
object?
would it have been a thing where
An object that is familiar to you, such as Orok milk.
It says in the it says it here.
it's so weird it's written down just like that.
You. It's a forked twig, so you kind of would have one of your own twigs, and you kind of bring it, and you test for the vibrations, and you feel one coming from deep within the vault of the halls.
Question.
Well, that confirms that.
You sense some?
What
Oh yes, deep
So-
in the vaults.
Lena, go ahead.
if you knew that Thor was coming, right? Because Dwal knew, at least he knew, and this mysterious other man knew. If you knew that Thor was coming to a party that you're having, would you preemptively, knowing that you have bone-shelled oryx in your area, would you preemptively get some milk? Like, what if shit happens? I'm going to make sure that I have this. I'm not suggesting that's what happened, but what if it is something innocent? Like, I was just being very prepared. I just
Then why
wanted
did they
to-
not use it?
I
Why
know,
did
I
they-
agree. I think that is very suspicious, right?
I think that they will try and spin some lie, but
But I think
don't
they
I think
will,
we should
exactly.
stop trusting anything.
Mm.
I don't
to
trust
people like
anyone.
this.
I don't trust you or you or you.
I think we make a lot of assumptions. We told the king. We did not tell anyone else. We did not discuss further how Thrud was poisoned.
Mm.
So some may know the king, he is old and relatively trusting. He may be naive to what is down there. So we can assume, but if we put out those assumptions and we create more enemies, we will have a whole lot more problems than solutions. And if all we do is ask questions, we will walk ourselves in a circle and question anything that could have been right.
Well said. Shall we go grab the milk for you now?
Yeah,
We should do that, yes.
cheers.
There's still an element of this.
All right, you're gonna go get the milk.
Yeah, let's go get the one.
Yeah, heist.
Right,
What-
you want to go steal their milk,
I
or
don't
you
wanna
want to
go
get?
the
You wanna go get the
vault
remnants
milk,
of
I
your
wanna
milk.
Get the one
Yeah,
that's
yeah, okay, yeah.
remnant.
Yeah, we have some left right in her room.
Yeah, they'd be-
I thought she drank all of it. Is there some left in her room?
you'd be able to get
There's
little
drops.
drops of it.
Okay,
from
that
the
works
tank.
for me.
She
Enough
didn't lick
for you
it
to
clean.
tell.
And it smells
Mhm.
Like upended over there.
Yeah,
Tap the bottom of it.
you'd go into the room where she is, and walk in there, pick it up, and she's looking at you, just going, expecting to get poisoned?
No, unless you plan to kiss me. I just wanted to know what it tastes like. The milk.
Roll a charisma check. Just straight
Oh,
charisma.
hell.
I'm in here watching this.
I'm going to do it where everyone can see it. 13.
Along, not walked in the room, just listened.
Go ahead. I wasn't going to drink anymore. And she sits back, and you can see she's just consumed all of the food you brought from her earlier. And it's kind of using one of the bones just to pick her teeth. Yeah, you get a couple of drops. It tastes horrible.
Yep.
It's like drinking bile. And then you wait a minute, and then the flavor becomes familiar.
Shit.
I think this lines up. I think it's all much more connected than we realize.
Draven also does not say this out loud here.
No.
At this point.
Yeah. Question. We're talking about Dwal talking to this long-haired person, right? Like that you said was the one who told them that Thor wasn't coming. Like I was trying to, because you guys were asking about this, right? Like Brizzy and LG, you guys were asking
He
about that.
knew. I don't think he knew that Thor wasn't coming. He expected Thor to be the one coming.
That's right, Joe, right?
Because at that point,
asked-
people did not know at all who was coming.
And you saw Dwal talking to somebody, and that's what told them that it was Thrud instead, or something like that. Like I'm trying to rack my brains. 'Cause I didn't take a lot of notes.
We asked, like, did anybody know that Thor was coming? And we were told, well, yeah, the advisor knew. And we were like, what? How do you know that? And Derek told us. Derek told us that. And he said, oh yeah, that creepy advisor dude definitely knew that Thor was going to be there, and he was talking about it with this guy with dark hair in dark leathers, and so that's where we.
Is that accurate, Joe, or was
Yeah,
the
no,
guy...
that's pretty accurate.
Okay.
That's accurate. Another question, because I wasn't there. When you were getting the Auroch milk from this farmer, you said that like he was really annoyed. He didn't want to give you the milk, and he had to do like a trick to try and get some. Was there any indication that like that was like a new beast that he had, or like what
we
like
didn't really ask like, oh, we didn't really ask much.
a lot of
but
questions?
He
Yeah.
said, like, he was real salty, and he was like, this fucking sucks. I hate doing this. And he was real annoyed that like his entire job was like, I just gotta take care of these shitty fucking Aurochs. And every once in a while people ask me for milk. It fucking sucks to get it. And we were like, yeah, but you're getting 250 gold. And he was like, yeah, but it's not that often. Like he was just real salty about life.
Not that often, right? So this stockpile, right? And this is maybe Juno like pulls people outside, or maybe we said this as we're walking there or something like that, because I wouldn't want to talk about this in front of Thrud. But if they've been stockpiling it, if you were wanting to plan ahead and poison Thor or Thrud or whoever, and you tried to basically deplete the resource, right? Like you would try and basically be like, we want to get as much of this stuff, so that there isn't anything left of it. The only thing I was thinking of is like, if anybody had tried to like kill these beasts or something like that, like why didn't they just get rid of them? Maybe that would be too obvious. Maybe they tried to just deplete the resource, right? And that's why they've built this stockpile up. And if Dwal knew that Thor was coming, because Brooders told him, I think this is where we're starting to see some of these dots connect. And again, it's still a lot of assumptions, but I feel like we're getting to some of these answers now. Like, and I think Brooder is like the connecting point. We need to link Brooder to the Prince and Dwal. I think that's going to be the smoking gun, is if we can connect those two together, then that will tell us what's been going on here.
Idea.
I don't know how you guys
Assuming
feel
we're
about it.
not still in Thrud's room. Lena will wait to say this until we're away from her.
Well,
so.
Gabe wants to ask, are we opposed to Thrud knowing what we're expecting about Bruder? Because Draven would not have left, because Gabe wants to know if that's worth saying to her or not.
I don't know that we want to tell her in case she's just like,
I don't think she's
fuck
gonna
you
believe this.
guys.
Yeah,
I don't think she has any reason not to believe us.
I think that we've
seems pretty
established
smitten.
enough of a, goodwill with saving them that I think keeping secrets at this point is sort of.
Yeah,
working
I mean,
against ourselves.
I don't think necessarily keeping the secrets, but like, I'm just worried that she is so smitten.
She flies
with
off the
Bruder.
handle, right? And is like, what? Now I gotta destroy everything.
If you all want to, if you lot leave, Draven will probably stay behind then for that. Like, even if she doesn't believe the entire party, he sees no value in keeping a secret if they just saved her life, and she's planning to go with them to fight something.
I guess we don't know if she's planning.
Well, I mean, Wilby's in here with you. I'm gonna let you do your thing. Either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly wouldn't stop you. I just have reservations of her not believing you, but I'm certainly not going to stop you from telling her.
Gabe's asking party before he does it.
I'm giving you a thumbs up. Do what you would do as your character.
Yeah, so it's same. Like if that's what Gabe would do, if that's what Draven would do, that's what Draven would do. Yeah.
Wow. Just bow out. So
if Draven's running behind, we've just reached time, so we should probably end up here and come back.
Yeah, we probably should. Yeah.
Next time.
Cool. When I'm not here. No.
I know. We might take next week off.
It's my fault.
Because if you guys do close in on Grendel, I do want everyone to be there for any Grendel hunt. So I'll let you guys know. If everyone's there the week after, then we could take next week off easily. But for now, let's call it tonight and come back to it next time on Mistletoe episode 6. So, as always, thank you everyone for playing. And well solved today. It was a very mystery-filled episode, and you smashed the riddles.
You have weaved a tale here that digs into my bones, and my inner Poirot wants to come out. But yeah,
I'm glad. Yeah, it's been fun, and well done on the riddles. I know, Brizzy, you immediately answered 2 of the riddles in seconds, and then Mark actually working out the word,
but in the worst way.
But but it worked. It was like,
so awesome.
They do work like that. So yeah, that was great. But yeah. So something to think about during the week or so, and we'll come back to it next time to see where your adventures go. We are kind of closing in on the end of this small arc here. So, all right, let's go ahead and do some shout outs and leave it there for tonight. Let's start with the wonderful Mark. Come on in. What do you want to shout out?
You should all go watch Tomato Gaming on Twitch.
This is like the easiest one. Like I compared to Godforged. Oh man, so easy to be here. I love it. I really appreciate it.
Come and watch High Rollers D&D. That's the D&D show I do. It's on Sundays. You can watch it just before Godforged. Hey, look at that. The timing works. You watch your High Rollers. You have a little 30-minute break. You come and watch Godforged. It's a win-win. Nice. Lots of high-level D&D fun. You can check that out. You can follow me on Twitter. I've been posting a lot of pictures of me and my cosplay from MCM.
Oh, good.
That's really it. That's it. TwitchCon Amsterdam. If anybody's going to TwitchCon, we got a live High Rollers D&D show, and we're also going to be there hanging out. So yeah, it's going to be pretty rad. Are you going to be there, Joe?
I don't think so. I don't have my passport back yet. Yeah, I'm waiting for my passport.
Neither do
back.
I've got to do a ridiculous trip to Liverpool on Monday to get mine. So
nice. Yeah. That's the quick way to do it, but also the real Mordor way to do it.
That's High Rolls D&D. If you're at TwitchCon, come watch our live show. It's on Saturday. Come say hi. That's
awesome. OG.
What's up? I'm OLG. I haven't really been doing much lately. Often I like to live tweet when we watch shows, but we've been watching current shows, so I can't do it because then it would all be spoilers. So it's been really hard to just not tweet stupid shit about the stuff I've been watching, but I think I've done a pretty good job. So shout out to me for not spoiling shit for all of you. Yeah, good job, me.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, I do what I can. Also, shout out to the universe for the kind of kismet involved in putting this group together, because I just said something in chat like, yo, here's my idea that I was going to say. And then Gabe was like, screenshot, I was just typing out. I wanted to say that this is what we should do. So
yeah. So if you want to check out
to our big brains,
if you want to check out the universe, just look all around you. You find it everywhere.
Yeah, just take
on
a
every
look around
social media
right now. Yeah. Shout out to the universe.
Tomato.
Already did it.
I hate you. You know where to find him. Exclamation mark players. You'll get his social there. Go to his stream and ask him to shout himself out on his own stream because he streams most days. Brizzy.
Hi, hit me up on twitch.tv/BrizzyVoices. I just started playing Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and that's some fun D&D shenanigans.
It's funny.
I've got my cast party D&D podcast which Gabe guests on.
Ooh.
Cast-party.com. We're playing, real life Hollywood humans that get sucked into D&D, and it's great.
That's really
So
fun.
awesome.
That's such a fun
Such
idea.
a good idea.
I love that. Gabe.
Hi, I'm Gabe Hicks, Gabe James Games across the internet. I can't say what it is, but I have a new show coming out this month. So keep an eye out for that.
Ooh, big pog.
Very, very excited about that. So that's going to be the major thing soon.
Awesome. Yeah. Keep your eyes out on Gabe's socials for that. That sounds awesome.
Can you make a riddle that we could try to figure out to guess what your show is?
Don't do it. You're gonna.
You don't. No, don't do it.
You eat.
I eat.
Yeah.
Got it.
People are going
Nice.
to take that and run with it.
I'm sure they will.
Gabe's on the
Mad
British
theories.
Bake Off next season.
Oh my god, can you
Dang it,
imagine?
Joe. Dang it, Joe.
A D&D based one would be amazing.
That would be amazing. I would watch that or be in it.
Yeah.
Genius.
And hello, I'm Joe Fudge. You can watch me on this channel. Like Mark said, on Sundays we play a show called Godforge after High Rollers. So spend your afternoons watching High Rollers and then spend your evening coming and watching Godforged. It is episode 91 or 2, I'm forgetting.
Oh my gosh.
This
Yeah,
Sunday.
that's wild.
Yeah, it's cool. So if you want to come and see some stuff there, there's big revelations to come. Otherwise, on Tuesdays I read a bunch of homebrew on my channel, found on different Reddits, and you can also, if you have any fan art, anything you want to post questions-wise, etc., we have a Discord. I actually forget the exclamation mark for the Discord, but someone in the chat
Joe.
knows it and will
Fudge
find it, and
Rolls,
you can
maybe?
go there. Yeah, I think it's Fudge Rolls, but Nightbot didn't work earlier, so now it's made me second guess.
Yep.
That's
what
there you go.
Yep.
Yep. So you can go in there, you see all the Mistletoe channels and stuff like that. But otherwise, that is everything.
Wait, what else do you have?
Oh, there's also a Patreon if you also want to see all the behind the scenes stuff. If you want to see my DM notes and all that kind of stuff for any homebrew, it all goes up on the
Yes.
Patreon. Exclamation mark Patreon for that. But otherwise, thanks everyone for playing, as per usual. And we'll see you all, if not next week, the week after. And we'll continue the exploration into the mystery behind the poisoning of a demigod. See you guys next time. Bye.
Sit